There you go. It didn't want to do it. I was like, well, what's going on, crowd?
What is up?
Back to the Film Cave Live, episode 16. Yeah, 16. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I said 60. I don't know why. But what's going on, y'all?
Yeah.
It's your boy Knight.
What's up, everybody? Logan Swish here.
And it's the Film Cave, your one-stop shop for any and all things filming in the goddamn tainment. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
We got a lot of extra stuff today. We got this is gonna be a good one, guys. I'm excited for this one. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah. This is going to be a full house, a full show.
Yeah.
Going on. So hopefully it doesn't fuck up because already this internet thing's doing like, do shit. So we'll see how it goes.
We ain't having it.
Fuck it twice. But all right, guys. So like I said, we have a great show for you guys tonight. If you can see down in the title box, they know exactly what the hell we're talking about. A little indie movie dropped over the week and weekend. You might have heard of it. So we're gonna be talking heavy spoilers. Heavy all the way. So if you haven't watched it, I don't know what you're doing at this point, but make sure you watch that first, come back and see our thoughts on it. It's gonna be interesting. To say the least. Good goddamn. But so guys, again, we appreciate you. Thank you for watching. If you're hanging out with us live and if you're watching on playback, hit that subscribe button, guys, if you like what you see here. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, that is the easiest way to support us here on the channel, is to hit that subscribe button. It's simple, it's easy, and it's quick. You want to hit the notification bell every time we go live and hit that thumbs up. Really helps the video reach a lot more people. It helps the channel get seen so that way we can build upon our crime-fighting nation. We can bring you more badass shit like this, man. So,
yeah.
Hell fuckings yes. So, the rules. So, we all like to have fun, shits and giggles here. We'd like to get you guys involved as well. And there's a particular way you can do that. One, you can hashtag AskFilmCave on Twitter, and we'll be able to see there and get them answered here live on the show. Or you can join us via video here on the show. So you get to see your pretty faces here live sitting next to us. So, how that works. I'll send the link in the live chat. You'll click it. You'll be in the waiting room. I shall call upon you. Come forth. Ask your question. Give us your thoughts on that question. Don't try to get slick and try to start no sideline, beeline conversation or whatnot. Save that to the end of the show. There'll be time. Get the question out. Give us your thoughts. We will kindly and respectfully and with so much love remove you. And we will answer your question to the best of our abilities, because at the end of the show, we'll give about 20 minutes or so to literally hang out with you guys, get involved in the chat, and just bullshit and have some fun. All right? Does that sound about right? Did I get that right?
Sounds perfect to me.
All right.
Let's get it going.
Cool and gang. All right, y'all. So as y'all already know, we like to begin our show with Out There in the World. Me and Logan are big motherfucking nerds. We love talking about film. We can do it all in any goddamn day. But there's some other things that we're quite passionate about. Sometimes film sneaks its beautiful head in there anyway. But we'd like to take this opportunity to do what we can and what we must. So, sir, in traditionary... Is there anything you'd like to start us off with?
I do have a couple things. First one I've got is just a hilarious and also terrifying thing that I've been watching for the past couple of days on Twitter. It's from a user. He's verified. I don't even know what he does, but his name is Jensen Karp. So, and that's his @ So it's JensenKarp. And this is a man, he went viral, and I've been following him ever since. He ate a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then he was like, he poured another bowl or something. And long story short, he found shrimp tails in his fucking cereal, like covered in sugar. And he like started atting Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they were like, "Oh, that's just sugar that's like not ground up enough." And he's like, "Bitch, fuck you. These are shrimp tails." And it's been an insane thing that I've been watching.
That's
He's
really
like,
disgusting.
and
Okay, is that why Cinnamon Toast Crunch is fucking like
Yeah.
all over the place? I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. And he's fucking taking this stuff to labs and like, I'm getting this shit tested. I'm seeing what this is. Cause he also was like finding like little pieces of black stuff.
Okay,
Like,
I saw that.
and and so it's something else. He's like, I'm putting money into this. Like I'm gonna go to the lab, I'm gonna get this shit tested. And he's like, I honestly wouldn't have cared if they had just said, yeah, we fucked up. You know, that's terrifying because people can be allergic to shrimp, you know, so pretty much everything in that box.
Well, why the fuck is shrimp in there?
Right. And so he's like, if they hadn't tried to
with.
fuck around and say, oh, that's not shrimp, I would have been like, okay, cool. Y'all had a mess up. Let's figure this out so we can keep people safe. And he's like, nah, I'm going to fuck them up now. So it's something to watch. Pretty hilarious that I've been watching. Yeah. And then, you know, the other thing out there in the world that we kind of just got in the middle of the day today was Disney decided to change their slate up a little bit. I'm pretty sad about it, but Black Widow has been delayed 2 months.
Jesus Christ.
To July 9th, which also that was Shang-Chi's release date, which has now been pushed to September 3rd. Eternals keeps its release date. Spider-Man 3 keeps its release date. You know, some other things such as I know Free Guy, I'm dying to see, has now been pushed to August 13th. And Ryan Reynolds posted a hilarious video about that. But yeah, so they
I get to watch it yet.
He basically, it's like, hey, we changed our release date. And I think he's like, and this is the last time. And I think that it's the video he posted last time. And so whenever, besides, everything's the same except when he goes to say the date and it's like just a voiceover that's like August 13th. Like, and he's like saying something else and it's fucking great.
I love that man.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. But yeah, so I'm a little upset. Black Widow now is also going to be simultaneously premiere access on Disney Plus. I wish it wasn't, but at least we're still getting it in theaters. But also, if you're going to do that, why push it? There's no reason to push that release date.
Right.
If you're going to also do it on streaming. Luca, which I'm very excited to see from Pixar. I do also enjoy him. But that's going straight to Disney Plus for no extra charge, similar to Soul. So that's the second Pixar movie in a row, actually, that's going up for free, basically. So pretty crazy. But yeah, I was just going to get your thoughts on that. You know, are you upset? Are you, because y'all have got theaters now, so you can.
I can go see Black Widow now. Yep. Yes. So I'm excited about that. It's still dumb to put it on fucking Disney Plus, but I don't know. They're gonna do what the fuck they want at this point, clearly, and it's just stupid. It's just a lot of stupidity. But I'm just like, do you? As long as I can see it in the fucking theater, do what you want. I don't. It's whatever at this point because there's no point in getting angry about it. They're not gonna change. They're still gonna be doing dumb shit. So at least I can benefit from it now. Fine, I'll be upset, but at least I can still go watch my shit. Yeah. I
mean, and one other thing to think about now is, you know, when it comes to MCU content, May is now a giant, you know, May and June is now a giant hole up until Loki premieres, which was supposed to come out after Black Widow. And now technically the 5th episode, so the episode before the finale of Loki, debuts the same day as Black Widow on Disney Plus. I don't know how that's going to work. So I honestly think they might move Loki up 2 or 3 weeks.
Interesting.
To fill that void and also not overlap, which I think would make sense.
But maybe it's for a reason we just don't know yet. Who knows?
They just pushed it today.
All right.
Anyway,
we're like, hey, here. I don't know. In Marvel, I trust. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
That's true.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
What do you got?
So someone in the chat just reminded me now, actually. So there's a lot of shit going on in the world of the, NBA of the NBA going on. the Inba. Well, for one, what's the fucker's name? The Mellow Ball. He's hurt.
That
He's missing the rest
sucks.
of the season with a wrist injury.
Yeah, that
Sorry to
sucks.
hear. But the Kang is out as well.
Yes, sir.
Is fucker. And he's out indefinitely, which sucks balls. I really do hate to see it. Because he was having a great season. He was doing his thing. And anyone just getting injured and having to just be like, yeah, your season, chill out, bro.
Oh, I know, yeah.
That sucks. Which now it's just pissing me off because it means I can't watch KD send him home in the finals. And that because that would have been a really great finals series.
What's stopping him from going to the finals still?
LeBron?
Yeah.
He's out indefinitely.
It's a 4 to 6 week injury.
For now. He's not as young as he used to be. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Just got off a finals MVP. But okay.
We'll see.
But yeah,
stop. I'm not gonna get this conversation with you.
I'm not worried about LeBron at all. To be perfectly honest, I think that he's not as hurt as they're saying, and they're letting his ass rest. Because they had no offseason basically. That's a good point. Yeah, so they could easily go in, as a 4 or 5 seed, and it would just be hilarious to watch them go through the playoffs. But LaMelo Ball really sucks, being an actual season-ending injury. I hate that because he was going on to be Rookie of the Year, I think.
For sure.
Really surprised the hell out of me, to be honest. So
yeah, he did.
Sucks for him. It kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I don't even think it was in a game. I just remember reports coming out, and that really sucks ass because he was doing some special things. So that's what sucks.
Right, and it's interesting you bring that up because I think you might be right on the resting part because Anthony Davis, he needs to. That's dangerously close to like Achilles. You need to
and since AD is out, why kill LeBron? He gets a little hurt. Rest his ass until they're both okay.
Hey, that's exactly what the fuck's happening with KD. This motherfucker's like, listen, y'all see what they're doing? I'm good right now. Let me get my shit.
Yeah, why would Kyrie come back in the bubble last season with KD still not playing? There's no reason to. Just fucking rest. Who cares? Right.
That's what I was saying. I was like, KD, I was like, this motherfucker fine. He's all right now. He's just taking his time. He's resting. He's trying to get extra 135% or whatever. And I think you're right. I think that's what LeBron. Oh, I don't know. That shit looked like it fucking hurt. He was like,
oh, for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But,
I don't know. Like I said, he's what 36 now. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, something like
hopefully
that.
he can come back a little better. That's an angle. That's rough. But lastly, I didn't pull this up. I just saw this, but I found this very interesting just because I love her. Helen Mirren has officially joined the DCEU, whatever the fuck we're calling it now. She is going to be in Shazam 2 as a villain. It's very interesting. I don't know who the hell she could play or who she's playing. I was trying to find it to pull up now. I don't think they announced her role yet, actually. Yeah.
Nah.
Just that she's a bad guy.
Yeah.
She getting that shmoney. She getting Fast and Furious money, and she getting DC money.
She's
ahead,
cashing those checks, man. And and I will admit, I think this is exciting necessarily? No.
What? You're bugging.
Well, I mean, great actress, yes, but I'm not expecting Shazam to be full of, Oscar performances. But what I will admit is it could bring a very, very cool dynamic of having the whole Shazam family being kids and the villain being an old woman. I feel like that could bring an interesting and fun dynamic. Because I really Shazam's freaking awesome. It's a very fun movie. Had a blast with it.
It is.
And Fury of the Gods is a cool ass subtitle for a sequel. So definitely interested in that. Obviously, we're not going to get obviously not getting Black Adam yet, which I'm not, too worried about because I want to see his movie. But I think it could be cool.
Interesting. What if she play? What if she's like Granny Goodness for like 2 seconds, going down? I'm like, hey,
could be. Why not?
Right. That'd be pretty awesome. Actually, should put put her face on the Snyder cut. Superimpose her face on the Snyder cut now.
Like they did with what's the guy's name? Daniel Thewlis or whatever for Ares. Like they made the flashback kind of like they CGI'd like a younger, weird looking face of that actor onto the guy.
It was weird in Wonder Woman, seeing his little ass weird face on a big ass soul god thing. I was like, this is weird.
It doesn't work. He's old too, but it was weird.
This didn't work at all. But I'm like, all right, fine. Yeah. What the fuck ever. But all right. I don't think I have anything else. So you good? Anything else you want to share?
I think I'm ready to get into the main topics.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so far if you made it to this point along the journey of the show. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, hit the notification button. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow, the little hearts right there. And we'll see you next time. All right. So, another little show. Well, I can't say show, but something else big premiered. This was a good weekend for comic book fans.
It really was.
I damn sure will say, because we all came together for the unity, as one, and got to really celebrate some badass content on both ends. That's really awesome. But on Marvel side, we had Falcon and Winter Soldier debuted their first episode, their premiere, and it was pretty fucking great. Sitting here watching this shit, I was just like, am I watching a fucking TV show or a movie? Like, what am I watching right now? Like, so goddamn cinematic. Like, holy hell. Both of them obviously shined again. Anthony Mackie is just stupid ass charismatic. Like, no matter what. Like, incredibly. I'm like, what the hell? They brought a sense of just, there's so much relatability in this show. They talk about issues that obviously are here and now. Of course, how the world treats vets and how we don't support, or there's no just basically support for them. Just beyond, you put your life on the line for this country, and then what do you have to show for it? They come back and like, we can't give you this, can't give you that. We're just gonna block you out of this, block you out of like, they treat it like shit. There's no help whatsoever, consideration for what they've done. Bucky is in his fucking 12-step program to
make amends,
right? Which I thought was awesome. Brought up a lot of points. I'm like, wow, this sucks, which of course we'll get in the breakdown later. But yeah, man, that opening fucking scene though, sweet Christmas. Like, what? Put respect on Falcon's name now.
For real.
Like, OD. So we'll open up the world to our new villains, the flag stompers, munchers, smashers, flag smashers. There you go.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Some shit about fuckers hate flags. So yeah, man, what did you think of the episode before we get into it?
No, man, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think, besides the first scene, it was a relatively slow episode. And I had some guys commented or at least I had one guy that commented on my video and was like, this was boring as hell. And I was like, hey, man, we're getting so much backstory for these characters, and we had an incredible opening scene. So it's really exactly what I want. And he was like, oh, no, I've seen, it seems too formulaic or whatever the word is. He's like, I've seen this. And I was like, you've seen 100-year-old assassin in therapy?
Right.
Or I said, or a black superhero that has saved the world multiple times struggle to get a loan? I'm like, no, you haven't. Right. I'm like, but it's making these superhuman people relatable to us in an incredible way, and it's fucking beautiful. I think the family aspect worked incredibly well with Falcon.
Really good.
Wasn't expecting it, and it was amazing. And then Bucky, Sebastian Stan's doing a great job already. We haven't even got them together yet.
Right, which surprised me. I was like, oh shit.
And they're just kind of on their own. But no, man, I really, really enjoyed myself. I like the dynamic between the therapist and Bucky. Like, at one point, he's like, "You're a terrible shrink," and she's like, "But I was a good ass soldier."
Right.
And it's like, "Oh shit!" Like, okay, I see this. And that was something that in the trailers, whenever they're doing the staring contest and stuff, didn't work for me originally. Because I was like, what? I was like, this is serious shit. And they're doing staring contests. I was like, what are you talking about? But now immediately I'm like, oh, like even Bucky's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, don't talk to me about the real shit. Like I'm not having nightmares, you know, whatever. But then, so he's trying to play it off, but it's, you know, it's real shit. So I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see what happens with the Flag Smashers and all that. I like their premise that they liked the world better during the blip. That's an interesting one, you know.
That's a very interesting approach.
And I was like, holy shit, okay, I see that. I like that idea. So it'll be cool. It'll be definitely cool to see what's coming up next.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's the whole episode itself didn't feel like it was like, wait, shit, it's fucking over? Wait, what? Just like it felt quick to me. Like I didn't feel like there was anything slow about it or anything like that. I was like, damn, I want more. Like that shit was fast as hell.
Yeah.
So yeah. So beginning we have this badass opening scene. Falcon's trying to retrieve this soldier who's been captured before they go into Liberia, whichever one it is.
Liberia?
What? Yeah. Is it Libya? Where the fuck were they?
It might have been Libyan airspace. Yeah.
Before that happened, they gave us a badass fucking scene. It was amazing. Red Wing is the shit.
He is.
Red Wing is the shit. And then we go from there into what I knew, even though it wasn't a funeral, but they gave him like an off-screen kind of death. There was no like memorial or nothing.
He's gone somewhere, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so he's fucking. I was talking about Cap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like he's dead. He's gone.
Well, is he dead? I don't think he necessarily has to be dead. He's just because that's what they're talking about. Like, oh, is he on the moon and shit? Like, they don't actually know. They're just kind of saying like, oh, he didn't come back, you know, or whatever.
He was saying all type of past tense in the thing, and
well, that's what they're.
Thank you, and
and that's why people were like, oh shit, did he go to the moon? You know, like, and I think that they're just letting him live his life out, you know, as a normal guy, you know, in silence, but. Because they would have had a massive funeral for Captain America if he actually passed away, I think. But
I don't know. I think they're keeping that aspect, I guess, like you do say like a secret. I just think he had his life. Now he's gone. That's why he's speaking
exactly
feeling the way he is, because they know, but the rest of the world doesn't.
Sure. Okay, I see.
Because the way he was speaking, terminology he was using, the way he was looking and feeling, I was like, yes, this man is gone. So like this, the only way it has to be. At least that's how I took it. And then we got good old Rhodey. I was like, oh hey, what's going on, man? I completely forgot he was gonna pop up in this show like that.
Yeah.
Now if we get some War Machine, I don't know, that would be awesome. For maybe like an episode or something, like he comes to help, or I don't know. Yeah. Good setup for his future show.
Exactly.
Then we meet Bucky, therapy, 12 steps, and all the good shit. We get a badass flashback, which was very deliberate because, dear God, it crushed me because I'm like, here's Bucky. He's, you know, trying to come to terms with all he's did. He's still haunted by it. But specifically this, because he has this friend, you know, an older guy, you know, always go to lunch together. And I'm like, I was really digging the relationship. I was like, this is awesome. Like, because I thought it was like an old thing, like, oh, he's hanging out with the old guys.
Yeah, they're similar in age. Yeah,
right. So it's like that's his crew. Perfect wingman, all that shit.
Yeah,
got him some ass. Yeah, and it's like, all right, good sir. Then comes to find out he killed his fucking. It's like the minute he said my son, I was like, fuck you, no. Like
that shit caught me by surprise until the reveal. It went right over my head. I should have seen it coming, and it fucked me up when it showed that picture. Yeah. I was like, no way. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, that's why he's doing it. He's trying to make amends, and he can't tell the guy. So tough, man.
Sucks, man. I'm like, bro, this is not the way to do it, because, like, they're so close. And, like,
the closer you get, the harder it's going to be.
Right. I'm like, what are you doing? So after he left with the date, I was like, okay, he's about to go tell him now. Like, he's going to say it to him. But then he couldn't do it. So I'm like, bro, this sucks. What are you doing?
That's tough.
Yeah. So then we get the family shit. We meet Falcon's sister, and you know, the family, the house and the boat, the business is up for, you know, for sale because she had no help when he was gone, and
Yep.
like that real. Like the bank is saying "fuck you," like, and they did the whole similar. You've been banking with our family for centuries, but we can't help you.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch.
But
like I
but
saved
take
the
a
world.
selfie
Like,
with me. Like,
right.
fuck you.
Put your arms out, please. Can I get a picture? Like,
Yeah.
And this is one. And this is funny because that conversation, something has sparked from that everyone's been talking about, and I've been seeing. I was like, "Oh, Tony didn't pay you guys. Like, he didn't give you money. Like, no. Like, if you expect Tony Stark, and everyone's got mad at Tony, like on the internet for a little bit. I'm like, are y'all fucking stupid? Like, if y'all expect Tony Stark to literally pay in every single fucking Avenger that will ever come to be while he was alive, you are retarded. Like, like, what? No, that's dumb.
I mean, I see it more so as similar to like a scholarship in, for an athlete. Like, hey man, I gave you a nice ass place to live, free food, all that stuff. I gave you a job. For this job, you get all this shit free. Well, I mean, I'm sure they got some
charity.
Yeah, I'm sure they got some stipends, whatever. But what all, who's paying for Rhodey or for Falcon shit? I don't know. He might be kind of left on his own now that Tony's gone, or maybe Pepper is an asshole and like isn't handing out like any checks anymore. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I liked that aspect though, because it is a thing of how much money does Tony really have if he's making Falcon suits left and right? He can't also be paying you. Oh, we lost him, and he's back.
Oh, titty.
Whoa, what camera is this?
This is the webcam.
There you go.
That threw me off. I was like, what the fuck? Welcome to Film Cave After Hours.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard everything you were saying, so you can continue.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm not too. I like the idea. I mean, I really do. I think it's cool. Even if you're somebody that decided to leave, you don't have millions of dollars of Tony's money, like in your bank account. I think it makes sense. So, and it's great for storytelling, to be perfectly honest. That's why they actually did it that way. So.
Oh, absolutely. But I was like, that's not Stark's responsibility. I was like, motherfucker, like people are on government contracts. I guess that they work for the government still, even though they're Avenger or whatever it may be, because Tony, he could be like, hey, motherfuckers, go, boom, 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 everybody. But why? It's not his job or responsibility. I'm in the bitch too, trying to save the world. I got to worry about that and y'all's fucking income. No, y'all adults, figure it out.
Exactly.
So it's just like whatevs. And then Falcon's homeboy went to go investigate the flags, got his ass royally fucked up. And here's something I want to get your take on this, because they specifically like held this shit. When he went back, his name was Torres, went back to talk to Falcon on the face chat. He's like, oh, you don't think it could be? And then Falcon cut him off. I'm like, wait, who the fuck do you? Woo.
Yeah.
Like, who do we think they could be?
It's really, really tough. I'm wondering if it could be the idea of what happened in Civil War, that they kind of like, it was the fake out of like other people with Winter Soldier serum, like super serum type of thing.
That's what I thought. I was like, didn't Zemo kill them all?
And well, he killed those, but were there other ones? I don't know. And then obviously, I fucking hate it, but I immediately, because the guy's obviously got powers. He's got, he's enhanced in some way.
Absolutely.
So of course, the first thing I'm sitting there, you don't think he's a fucking mutant, do you? I'm like, oh shit. Like,
no.
But WandaVision takes place 5 months prior. So if she had ramifications like fucking up the multiverse, which we will see at some point.
This is 5 months. This is 5 months after WandaVision?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, WandaVision started 2 weeks, I think, after the blip, where everybody came back.
3.
3 weeks. There you go. Yeah. So then it took a week. So then, this happened 6 months after the blip. the Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts.
Okay.
So, or he's been working for the Air Force for 6 months, is what he said. So it could be a little longer than that.
Oh,
but
yeah. So that's right.
But yeah, so it's interesting. So like I see Devin saying it could be Night Thrasher, the leader of the Flag Smashers. Great.
Yeah, that too.
Who is he? How is he enhanced? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they changing it? But interesting to see, because I can for damn sure say from the trailers and stuff, I did not expect any of them to be enhanced in any way. I thought they were just, a rebel, group of terrorists, basically.
I knew they were, because I remember in one of the trailers, Falcon was like, "Oh, they're strong and shit," and plus they're going toe to toe with fucking Bucky, so I'm like, they have to have some kind of things to them. So, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And even Falcon stepped up his fighting game. I was like, "Look at you!"
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, could they also be saying, because there's been rumors, which if WandaVision taught us anything, it's not to speculate too much, but they've been saying Thunderbolts could be something in here. And this we haven't, and that we also haven't talked about. The new Cap. Could they be trying to make? Could the government be trying to make their own set of Avengers called the Thunderbolts? Like, is that guy a fucking? Is he one of Ross's guys? Since he's been trying to make. What do you? I heard myself.
Yeah. Because you when you talk and you keep skipping, so I'm just trying to make sure you're not doing it like on the actual.
Oh, I got you.
Thing. So I turned the volume down. So sorry. Go ahead.
hey, Chad, am I skipping? Let me know. Let us know in the chat. But yeah, no. So obviously, I can't say obviously because the fucking aerospace engineer wasn't. But obviously, they're leaving us a reveal there of some sort. Who were they talking about? Could that be? I don't know.
That just triggered me slightly.
Yeah, and because that is something that we kind of got bamboozled on a little bit. So.
A little bit.
What is this? I don't know, but I'm definitely interested because there's plenty of ideas. It could be something simple as, do you think that that's Night Thrasher? Like the it's like maybe I don't know. There's no telling. Do you have any?
You're skipping a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
But, yeah, the beauty of live, people. Yeah, I don't know enough about this Night Thrasher guy to be like, oh hey. Cool. I'm at this point. I'm just watching the bitch because, like I said, WandaVision taught us a lot. Don't speculate or think about shit because they will fuck you 5 times without mercy or prayer. So just go into it and see what happens. But that new Cap motherfucker looks derpy as hell.
I don't know what they changed on his helmet or something, but it fits his head so. Yeah, it fits his head so much different than Chris Evans on purpose. I think
he looks
to
like
make
Ernest.
him look. He looks derpy as fuck. Yeah, exactly. It does not look like the actor. I cannot wait till we get a shot of him taking that shit off because it does not make sense for Wyatt Russell as of right now. I still can't see it. It's crazy.
Like, man, to see New Captain America, they did the whole zoom and just all like.
He looks so stupid.
I was like, I remember I did that by reaction. I immediately said ew. I was like, what the fuck is this? Okay. Yeah, that was also disrespectful. If I'm Sam, I'm going into that. I'm flying into that bitch. I'm kicking him in the face. I'm like, oh no, this is not why I gave y'all this bitch. Y'all told me it was going to be put up here to do, in remembrance and memoriam and all that, whatever you want to call it. And y'all going to take this shit and I'll just make a new Captain America? I'd like a day later?
Yeah.
What? Oh no.
I do, because we've obviously seen in trailers that, he gets the shield back at some point. And so I liked the idea of, maybe this guy isn't a villain. Maybe he's just out there doing, hey, I got hired to do this job. I'm the new Cap. Great. I'm just trying to, give somebody a symbol of hope again, whatever. He goes out there on his first mission and gets fucking killed because he's not Captain America.
Right.
And they're like, oh, fuck.
Our Cap just got flag smashers.
Our Cap just got murdered.
Right.
Like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And then Falcon comes in and is like, give me that fucking shield back. Like, I'm gonna take this up. So we'll see. Could be very interesting. Looks like the old man encouraged the cowardly dog. That's fucking hilarious because
that is funny.
Kind of
very, very true. Yeah, he looked weird. I was like, this is not gonna stand. Sam, go get your shit, please.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So what episode do you think we're gonna get those two together?
Man, if it's not episode 2, I'll be very surprised. But it could, with where there's nothing leading them to each other yet.
Right.
Necessarily, unless it's that, this makes Bucky respond to Sam's texts of like, hey man, what the fuck?
What are you doing? He gave it to you. What do you do? What is this? What is this shit?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I would guess by the end of episode 2, we get some sort of, either they end up on the same mission or, something, they just kind of stick around or something. I'd be very surprised though if we don't get them to episode 3, because there's only 6 episodes. What are you thinking? You think it could take that long?
I'm thinking so. Yeah, I think it'll be a cliff on episode 2. I think we'll get Agent 13 in episode 4.
Yeah,
and then we'll see where else. We'll probably get Zemo in 3. Yeah, I want to say. We may get him in the same episode as 4 because he may be a separate thing from the Flag Smashers, if anything.
Sure.
Or he could be behind their whole setup like that. Because if it is the theory, like, hey, there's still some little Winter Soldier fuckers out there. He was like, listen, I have some in reserve just in case. I'm gonna come back, and they're my little army.
Yeah,
I want to see everyone fall, and again, this motherfucker loves seeing shit fall. So. So who knows? That could be a plan all along. Who knows? But anyway, great fucking episode. Great start. I'm very excited to see where we go from here. And yeah, keep kicking ass, guys. Do you have anything you want to say more about that, or you're pretty good?
I mean, no, I think it was a very, very good pilot. To kind of show, unlike WandaVision, which I loved the show, but the first 3 episodes of WandaVision were a sitcom in black and white. So this being the pilot, amazing. I mean, it really got us into the story. Not a ton of mystery like with WandaVision, where you're just watching this weird thing, don't know what's going on. You're seeing what's going on. You're like, this is fucking awesome. And this does look like it's going to be a 5.5 to 6 hour long Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, it's just going to be a straight up, another Captain America movie. Like, is that going to get old or, whatever? And now I'm like, oh no, this is fucking amazing. I want 6 hours with these guys. So I'm excited as fuck.
Yes. All right, guys, you know what to do. Keep the conversation going in the comment section. I see you guys are already doing that so far. You guys are having quite a little debate, especially in the past, topics we had. So keep it going. If you're watching on playback, make sure you keep the conversation going as well. Let us know what you thought about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, what you loved, what you hate, what we might have missed. Let us know in the comments section below. All right, guys, let you know we're getting closer to that time. So pretty soon, probably about halfway through our main topic now, I will send out the link to join us live to ask any questions you would like. So be on the lookout for that. I will announce when I am dropping it, so you can be ready. All right, and if you go, you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. You already know
do it.
What it is, and follow us on Twitch. All right. So now the main topic of the evening.
The main event.
Yes, which will bring me great joy. So our little indie film. The Zack Snyder, however you say his name. He's some up and coming.
Snooter.
Yeah, whatever. The Snickerdoodle, some shit. I don't know, but he premiered his 4-hour, I'm going to call it an epic, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, debuted, and boy, God diggity, boy, it was getting good reviews prior. It came out, and it is doing quite well, which is really great to see. Of course, there's naysayers, people who don't like it. It's natural, it's going to happen, but majority has been overwhelmingly positive, which is cool. We'll get to the latter half of that a little towards the end, stuff that was announced today. But Logiano, what did you think? I'm going to start with you first. What did you think of Zack Snyder's Justice League? And we will break this motherfucker down. But let me know what you think, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it was good. It was I do think if we did not have the 2017 theatrical cut to compare it to, this would not be getting near as good of reviews, because that's an atrocity compared to this. But it's a good movie. It's an hour 15 too long. There's probably an easy hour you could cut out, and it would actually be a really fun film that probably moves pretty quick. But overall, I mean, I definitely look at it positively. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about it, but I fully expected that, especially in a 4-hour fucking movie. I would call it an epic. I think that Zack Snyder can only make epics. Yeah, I mean, when the people throwing around masterpiece, like they just don't understand what the fucking word of masterpiece is. But
what? How can you say that?
Because
I'm in no position to say that, sir.
Because I don't even think the MCU has probably made a masterpiece. So I mean,
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. So that's the thing it's I have not seen a perfect film from.
Is
anyone.
A masterpiece perfect though?
I would call that, yeah. If you're looking at a sculpture from 1,000 years ago and this is the masterpiece of this, it's probably not going to have any problems.
But the problems of art or a piece is what make it beautiful.
That's not true. And like what Kenya King said in the chat here, like the first 30 minutes does a lot of stuff for Wonder Woman, and then that's it. She only really gets that opening scene that she's badass, and then she cuts his head off. Besides that,
are you on drugs?
Don't
go there. We're gonna break it down.
I can't wait.
We're gonna go through
Please
it. Yes,
tell me we're not gonna break down a 4-hour fucking movie.
Not bit by bit, but we can go through like part to be like, hey,
because I don't remember. I only remember bits and pieces because it was such a exhausting watch. But what did you think overall? Like,
you old fuckers, it was 4 hours, not 26. Jesus Christ.
But that's the problem. Is it was 4 hours and it felt like 5.
No, it did not. Am I the only one that did not feel exhausted? I literally just watched the whole movie all the way through, and I've seen it 4 times.
Well,
and I've not been like, I don't.
You couldn't pay me to watch it 4 times. First of all the way through. I will never watch the Snyder Cut in full again. Period. End of story. I've looked up certain clips, but it is not a fun movie to watch. Leslie Jones doing videos on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh my God.
When you realize that she cut it down to an hour 20 and it was so much more enjoyable, I think that's pretty hilarious. So
much more enjoyable because you have a comedian commentating over.
Well, no, but but she's only making videos of the parts that need commentation, so it's like it's pretty funny. But I'm definitely interested to see what you think in terms of comparing it to something like BVS, Man of Steel, and whatnot.
So I'm gonna say this
because I honestly, what I'll tell you is I don't like people comparing it to the Joss cut. I don't think that's what you should be comparing it to. This was the original version.
Like a whole different.
So I compare it to BVS and Man of Steel, which I would put in between those two for me in terms of how good of a movie it is. But please tell me what your thoughts are.
So I absolutely loved this film. Obviously, it's hard when you're watching a bitch the first time to not compare what we had till now. And it was just so much fucking better. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? But putting that aside, I thought it was great. I loved the character moments that we had. I loved the story more full, like a complete fucking story. I understand people's motivations. I know what the fuck's going on. the scenes and the new scenes were just fucking epic. I was happy. I got emotional a few times on some scenes, which I was surprised. Like, oh shit, okay, I'm feeling something. Got it. That's good. It was just so epic and just fucking great. No movie's perfect. I'm not gonna say it doesn't have its issues. Every movie fucking does. That's just point blank. But I absolutely fucking loved it. I thought it was great. Zack, bravo. I'm glad you got to get your vision out. I'm glad it's being well received. I'm sorry getting fucked again. But like I said, I've been out there to know that I'm fine on either side of the spectrum. I'm for whatever. If it's done, great. If you continue, great. That's where I'm at. But I think there's a difference into why. We'll get into that when we get into that later. But yeah, so I thought it was absolutely fucking epic. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you're gonna have a lot more than I did, obviously. So what didn't you like? What were your negatives? Break it down and tell me.
I mean, I have like I tried to jot down a few things just to kind of refresh myself, but like there's plenty of things I like about it. It's just when you give me a 4-hour movie, there's also plenty of things like I despise the same amount of things that I love because it's so long. But like, for instance, Ezra Miller could be recasted tomorrow and I would jump for joy. I think
that's just based off his choking shit, right?
Well, that, and I couldn't stand him in this movie for the most part. I thought that and what I get to is like, I think that his scene saving what's her face in the slowest motion imaginable was creepy.
At the start, yeah.
No, the whole fucking time.
Not the whole time.
Besides the awesome part where he busts through the fucking window, right, even the way he runs, he looks like Willy Wonka. Like he's like, oh, let me get out there and help. Like he runs like a fucking weirdo. And the hot dog,
it was slowing down.
The hot dog shit.
No, not when he grabbed the hot dog for the
not when he's slowing down. When he literally has to jump out of the window and he's running like
he busted the window and he's all like, oh shit. That's why like he started to slide. He was pulling back.
I'm talking about before he slid. The sliding was cool. It's the running.
Yeah, but I'm saying before that, that's what he was doing. He was a pullback. That's what I'm saying.
It was fucking 25 yards. But anyway, but the hot dog, I think that's something easily that could be cut out. I think that the tone doesn't make sense. I think it's a dick joke in this movie, and it doesn't work at all since Snyder really can't do humor whatsoever. I thought that was pretty bad. I do not think the action sequences in this movie are as good as Snyder has done in his other two movies, period, especially BVS. I do not think anything matches up to the fight with Doomsday in BVS in this movie, period. And then it's funny because Devin said this in the chat and I have this written down. I do actually, one thing I really, really missed in this movie was the save one line from Batman to Flash. When they're,
you missed that or you didn't?
So like I wish that was in this cut. Because that was actually, because we still have, because that was the other thing too, is the whole fucking movie Ezra Miller's like, I don't like it, like, and it's like, okay. And so I liked that part where he's like, don't simplify this, just save one, like, and I liked that a lot, and I didn't realize I would miss it, but I did. And then we have things like not enough Superman. I mean, he had like,
that's literally, Superman wasn't in this bitch.
He had one line in the final fight, and it was fucking horrendous. Yeah, never would he ever say that. It makes no fucking sense.
That was random.
And then, really, my main question for you is, what was your favorite moment of Batman in this movie?
My favorite moment of Batman would be him fucking running through the city, fucking up parademons. That was pretty damn awesome.
That's my point. Not a lot of cool shit from Batman in this movie.
No,
lot
but I get where they were going for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like I said. I think that this does not compare whatsoever action-wise to BVS. I think the story is better, but if we had a 4-hour BVS, the story for that probably would have been as good or if not better than this. But yeah, I mean, overall, I've got other things that I really enjoyed, but if you're asking me my negatives, I've got plenty.
Yeah, no, that's
Martian Manhunter. I think the end scene, he needs to be cut, and then the actual scene that he's in the middle of the movie actually hurts the movie.
I don't get why that was a thing. Like, you should just, if you want to save his ass at the end, that's what you should have done.
Right.
It's like, save it at the end where you got him. That's cool. But the whole Martha, I was like, why?
Because I love the fact that Martha and Lois Lane meet up again in Smallville at the house, and Superman's like, I gotta go, and he dips, and Lois is like, thank you so much for coming by. You really helped me. And Martha's like, the fuck you talking about, you crazy bitch? I was never there. And like, what? And so I saw somebody was like, I hope Martian Manhunter went straight to Martha and pretended to be Lois so they could have some sort of fucking, but yeah, no. So, I mean, like, that was terrible. It made no sense. Looked horrible in terms of the effects.
No, that's just crazy.
It looks
he looked better at the end. He looked better at the end.
No, he didn't. But
okay, now
he looked like the CW show.
Sweet Chris,
but
you see why I can't talk to him sometimes. Do you see this?
And then yeah, I mean, can we not talk about how fucking Ezra Miller runs? I mean,
no, we can. It's a goddamn run. I'm getting tired of motherfuckers.
It is not a run. It's a ball.
He's fucking running. What? Not everyone runs like a goddamn robot. Not everyone runs all perfect. He's trying to.
This is the guy that runs, and he runs like he needs to be in the Special Olympics.
He's running like he's fucking running on air or some shit, and he's just fucking gliding through the bitch. I don't mind it.
Is graceful. He's not graceful at all. He's tripped multiple times in this, and he's been the Flash
because he's new and clumsy.
He's not.
He hasn't been a Flash like that for that damn long.
People got mad at Superman for not being Superman for a day.
I didn't.
And
that's them. That's stupid.
And the Flash has been the Flash for a year. And he can't fucking stay on his feet. The guy that runs can't do that.
Oh, he's clumsy.
Crazy.
He's artistic.
Runs better.
He's artistic.
Donald Trump does not run better.
Right. I'm just like, it's just stuff like that. Like, if you have actual critiques of a movie, cool. Is people like, the way he runs? Shut up.
Yeah, it's an artistic choice. And it's fucking bad.
Yeah, Lord.
It's not hard to run, and he decided to change it.
People run. Not everybody runs like
have
a goddamn
you seen people that professionally run? Because that's all he does.
Yeah.
That's his only superpower.
Some people look crazy.
Like who?
I don't know the motherfuckers' names. I just be watching
exactly. Because I'm looking at Usain Bolt, the only guy that's almost as fast as this guy on 2 feet, and he looks a lot better. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I am going to call it out.
What is this a goddamn run? I don't care.
Also, I don't know this necessarily from the comics. I know that Superman has done this where he flies fast enough to reverse time, similar to what the Flash can do with his speed. Or if the Flash is faster, correct?
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
But I will admit at the end, which I do think it's stupid, but when the plan is Cyborg needs to be pushed in at this speed, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But then somehow the Flash gets sniped by this one fucking parademon that's done his homework and can like lead this shot on somebody that's going the speed of fucking light. That's not possible. But I'm sitting there like, hey, Superman, get behind Cyborg and fucking push his ass as fast as you can go. Like, you're just standing there. And like, I was like, you might at least get fast enough. So it was just
I don't
that
think
was
he'll
one
get
thing.
as fast as the Flash.
But how
But
fast does he have to get? We don't know. Because Superman can
fast
fly.
as Barry can go.
Because he can go fast enough to do what Barry can do. So that's just my 2 cents. But
My
yeah,
nitpick, yes.
definitely no, it's definitely not a nitpick. I think I need smart movies. That's why this was literally the Fast and Furious 8 of superhero movies. That's okay. Turn your brain off and have fun. Yes, I am, because that I had to be to enjoy that fucking movie. At least love it. I really think Cyborg's great. I do still think that half his shit could have been cut out, and it could have been the exact same amount of great. But overall, the movie is definitely good. I would have liked to see a 3-hour cut because I actually think it could be great. I really do. And you obviously have things like the Wonder Woman opening scene, which is awesome. I wish we actually saw her go that fast other times in the movie. Because she just fucking destroys people super speed like we've never seen her have before, and then doesn't do it again. Would have been great to see her do that again. But yeah, I mean, there's
a flight in this, which was interesting. I was like, oh wow,
kind of.
At the end, she was flying around.
Yeah,
that was about it. But
I
was like, okay, good for her.
Yeah, so it was. I mean, there are things you're asking me negatives. There's things I'm going to point out because I'm critiquing. But there's plenty of things I like, because I do think like the final scene with the Flash, going to his fastest speed, and like it's fucking awesome.
Yes.
I think fucking that I think him going, "Dad," blah blah blah. I think that could have been cut out. I don't think that was necessary. I love the line.
I think it was just the way it was delivered was a little weird.
I don't, because what I'll tell you is it lost a sense of urgency. Because as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, he's fixing it. Okay. Like, instead, it's like, because I wasn't even at that point, I wasn't sure what exactly he was doing. Because it happens real quick on the first viewing where, like, the explosion happens and he like puts his hand up, and so he's going an insane amount of speed without moving. And so, like, at first I wasn't sure what was happening. Like, I was like, oh, he's going into the Speed Force thing, but like, what's that mean? And then he takes off running, and I'm like, he just said it was too late. What's happening? And then he says that line of like, I'm one of the best, whatever. And I'm like, go help them. But then he says, whatever he says about the future and the past being, it's all right now. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's cool. Like, they might have even been able to swap those, and it worked better for me. But the only 2 parts of this movie that I've gone back and watched was that scene and the nightmare scene. That's literally it. So I like it. I would give the movie probably a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10, probably, of enjoyment. But I don't hate the movie, but I don't despise it like BVS, even though the action's not as good. But yeah, I don't think it's a masterpiece by any means.
So, like I said, I loved it. The great stand-up. There was a lot of stand-up points for me. Definitely one of the end scene with the Flash was beautiful. I got a tiny bit emotional seeing that. I was like, wow, they're finally doing some epic shit with fucking Flash. This is great. They're doing it. Awesome. From there, I already knew what was happening. The minute the shit happened, this motherfucker went and started all that shit around him. I was like, oh, Speed Force, bring it back, Barry, save us. I already knew. So like, this is epic. They're doing it, and they did it. One of my favorite shits was Cyborg shit. When we had that montage of him learning, and he did that thing with the mom, bro. That shit, I got emo. I was like, this, because here's the thing, and of course, what was lacking in, the original, if you want to call it, or the Joss, and even some of like Snyder's films, whether me still liking them or whatnot. It felt good to see these heroes be heroes and do genuine good shit. And it was just like, I was like, holy fuck! Like, in the fact that would be cut from Josh just shows you how much fucking Ray Fisher got fucked. But I was like, this is fucking beautiful. Like, why would you not keep this? Like, and it was just amazing.
So
just to
much of
see
that.
I was like, holy hell, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, the mascara sequence was amazing and badass. The full in its entirety was kill it. Wonder Woman shit, like all the standouts were amazingly done well. Love the character build. Fucking Steppenwolf was so much goddamn better in this film than before. I understand why this motherfucker's here, why he's doing what he's doing. I even felt bad for the bitch. Like, this dude just wants to come home.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you.
Like, everything was there. He was completely savage in this film. Like, what the fuck? Like, I felt the impact of Darkseid with the little moments we got him. Like, they kept him like, okay, here he comes. He made a statement. He was gone. Like, I felt it. It was great. Even though he wasn't in this bitch for real, Superman's death was felt a lot more in this film than the original Joss, where it was kind of forced on us through Batman, because he seemed to be the only motherfucker who cared about Superman during all this. So he was just forcing us, Superman this. He was a beacon. He was da. This movie, you actually felt it through the narrative and shots and all. Like, you felt it better. So I like that more.
Yeah.
And of course, the nightmare scene. Sweet Christmas. That nightmare scene, man, that was pretty fucking epic. Was it just tagged on at the end? Sure.
I wouldn't call it epic, but it was cool.
Oh, it was epic for me. I gives a damn. It was epic for me. But them two, Batman and Joker, that's all I needed. Give that to me. That to me was an amazing interaction, and it made me want to see more with them too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm not somebody who hated Suicide Squad. I'm not somebody, even though he wasn't my favorite Joker, but I was curious to see more of what he can do because the potential was there and I enjoyed it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Correct. Right there with you.
This gave me more of like, okay, yeah, I want to see more of this motherfucker because this one was a lot more cynical. He was a lot more crazy than Suicide Squad. Yeah. Like, just this motherfucker's stares and the shit he was doing. I was like, this motherfucker's making me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to, I don't know what to feel. Like, oh, so awesome.
No, I'm with you on that because that's the thing. I like the take in Suicide Squad. I think it's very interesting because he's a mob boss. And so that's why I wish to God we could get the error cut where he shows up at the end of that fucking movie, because the whole point of it at the end there is he shows up because of something like Harley's there or whatever, and she chooses the squad over him, and he flips shit. And that's kind of the point, I think, of this Joker is everything's fucking mine. If you say otherwise, you're not going to like what you see. And this is the Joker in this nightmare scene. He went from mob boss to I'm in the fucking desert running around with all the people I hate, afraid of Superman. Everything's been taken from him. And so he's just like, man, fuck all of this. And that's exactly the thing. Can you imagine a Joker that's literally had everything taken from him? He's not in charge. And that's what he'll do. He'll sit there and bring up killing Robin. And he'll start laughing in your fucking face. And I loved when, Batman's like, when Harley Quinn, told me to fucking like let you suffer. And he's like, and I will fucking kill you. And like, I know that got me. And seeing like, but the way Joker reacts to that was incredible. Because he's like, because what he wanted to say is, "Oh, you motherfucker." He's like, "Yeah, you won. Take the fucking," and he's like, "I'll take that fucking card, you piece of shit."
Right.
Truce.
Oh,
truce.
I love it.
How many fucking truces do we have to have? This is the 52nd Joker you've given me in the whole deck of cards of Jokers. And like, how many times are you gonna ask me for a fucking truce?
Oh my God, and I loved it. Oh.
But what I immediately said, that movie ended, John, and I looked right into the camera and I said, we can just skip to that.
Right.
I mean, because it would be interesting to see.
Ed Boon wants it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, but that was one of the things. It was definitely tagged on. Didn't need to be there, but the fact that it was cool. I liked what I saw. I think it's the best interaction between a Batman and Joker. Right. I don't think it's the best Batman Joker scene ever. You know, like some people are saying in terms of on screen, whatever.
No.
But
I'd give it
I
a
do
second, though, for
think
sure.
because I mean we haven't had much on screen, and I definitely think that's it was a cool ass scene. Because I also what Akasan and I have always said about the nightmare shit is this is when Batman can do whatever the fuck you want Batman to do, because shit has hit the fan times 1,000. So whatever happens, and so seeing that, it's just like an Elseworlds. Like, sure, give me that story when it's not the Batman that I have to be worried about keeping his rule and being honest to the character.
Right.
Like, no, give me the fucking crazy Batman if this is some Elseworlds type of shit. So, yeah, no, I dug that a lot. I can't remember. You've seen the movie 4 times.
Yeah.
Is Wonder Woman's scene with the bomb, is that before the Themyscira scene? I want to say it is.
I'm trying. No,
it's not. Themyscira's before that. I can't see. I can't remember.
Is it before? Yeah, it's before because it's part 1. I think Themyscira.
Right. Yeah. I want to say. But anyway, the thing that got me was, what's the queen's name? Hippolyta?
Yes.
Hippolyta. She's slow as fuck when she tries to run.
She's not slow. Just everything's in fucking slow motion.
Well, you said it, not me. That I fucking despised almost every bit of slow motion.
Not everything had to be in slow motion.
It was fucking terrible. But
and every time we saw one of them, they were like, ah!
yeah. Oh my god!
I was like, it was so epic at first. I was like, okay.
That TikTok I posted is fucking amazing.
Hilarious.
It really is. But no, I just remember, like, I was like, God damn, is Wonder Woman the only one of y'all that's fast? Because Hippolyta takes off running and she's running like me. It's like me.
She's not like them.
Why not? I mean, I don't know. So it was just
the daughter of Zeus. She has one up on everybody. She's stronger than all of them. Even Steppenwolf said it.
She can be,
but stronger.
She can be half as fast as her daughter. I mean, it would be, I don't know.
It was a slow motion motherfucker, not just real time.
But she's just like she's trying to get out of there super quick, and I'm just like, after the Wonder Woman shit, and like after if Wonder Woman isn't first, it's just like I've seen Wonder Woman go fast, and so I'm like, oh my god, she's so slow, and like
Jesus,
like it was rough. And slow motion doesn't help.
It doesn't help, but it was. I didn't mind it. I was like, it's his aesthetic. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I fucking hate it. It's not his aesthetic. They're not the other two movies. The other two movies were not riddled with slow motion like that.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Because we didn't have something as epic in scale as this, I guess. Because we had 300. There was slow motion all over that bitch. I guess when it comes to epic films,
yeah, the 300s, like, yeah, whatever.
So I don't know, but I love
Batman
that
Superman isn't epic.
Shit. I mean, sure.
Supposed to be.
Right.
Wasn't.
There you go.
He tried.
And I love that bank or school robbing, whatever the fuck it was in the beginning of Wonder Woman. All that speed shit. I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck? Why would you cut any of this? God damn it. It was she was a lot more like everyone had a extended story, was badass, yada yada yada. Their purpose was there. Aquaman still got the little back burner of it all, but like they still expanded upon him a little bit more than the original film. I was like, okay, cool.
When those girls start singing and like harmonies,
that was weird. I'm like, Zack, what are you? What's happening here? This is creepy.
I loved what Leslie said, because it's exactly what I said. Is like they're sitting there singing, it sounds so weird, and then one of them starts hitting a harmony, and I'm like, I mean, it's fucking pretty, but Jesus Christ, like how long are y'all gonna do this on screen? Right. Like. It was funny.
I felt like Bruce in that moment. Chris started singing. He was like, "The fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
is it disrespectful if I start to walk away now?"
Right. It's like I'm gonna go. Y'all sound great. I'm gonna get up this motherfucker. But that and shit. What else? Oh, in Zack's music choices. Brother, like some of these songs, I was like, what's happening here? Yeah. Why is this a choice? That's the only thing, because I well, obviously don't have a lot of negatives in this film, but obviously the ones I can point out, I was like, this is a little bit ridiculous. I'm trying to think what else. The fight between all the heroes was cooler. And just I love the way the reasons for things were a lot better in this film than the Joss or whatever.
And I can't blame Joss because he had 2 hours. Like he had to hold on to the 2 hour mark. So that was literally a mandate. So like, because the fact that he fucking cut out some shit in this movie is insane. Because it could have fit in just fine, even with the story that he was telling. And it's literally just the fact that you could not have fit that in the 2 hour mandate. Now, when it comes to something like Wonder Woman's fight at the beginning, I don't know why you reshot any of that.
Right.
Just cut some shit. But like I feel like he made his job a lot harder.
He did.
But
I was like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, and I said that multiple times, but also at the end of the day, I do not blame him at all because I do think it's 100% on
group effort.
On Warner Brothers.
Yeah, it's a group effort. I'm like, whatever. But it just hurts. I'm glad that fucking Lois Lane is the key shit was not in this bitch no more. Thank God.
I mean, it was in The Nightmare.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Lois Lane is the key. That's the whole point. She dies, and that's what makes him.
I'm talking about during the hero fight. Like, Alfred, bring the big guns, and fucking Lois is here and the shit. I'm like, okay. Like, this was a lot better. She goes to, therapy every day with a coffee, brings it to OG Jimmy Olsen, and then she just so happened to be there once shit got her. I was like, okay, that's much better than fucking Alfred bringing his bitch like, here, stop. I'm like, all right, whatever. That showdown was pretty cool between him and Superman again, even though him saying the "do you bleed" part back was pretty cool. I would have liked to kept that just a little bit. But Batman was like, yo, the world needs you, but I'm not scared of your bitch ass. Fuck your lasers. That was pretty cool. I like that.
He was going to die in 2 fucking seconds.
And he didn't care. He's like, I'm not scared, bitch. Block. Fuck you.
No.
I'm saying.
He was 2 seconds. He wasn't scared of dying. That's correct. But he was about to die. Leslie Jones really fucking showed that Batman. Yeah. I'm glad he's the leader because he's not the most powerful.
No, he's not. Even though he is.
I do want to say I hate to admit this because I wasn't expecting this, but literally besides the black suit, which I don't know why, but seeing Superman in that black suit, seeing Spider-Man in the black suit, like for some reason, I just like that. Like I'm like, it's fucking cool to see him in the black suit. I think it's cool.
Right.
What I will say is when it comes to the final fight with Steppenwolf, I much prefer the Joss version of Superman in everything that he does. We got literally no dialogue. We got one line that made no sense. Not impressed. That's ridiculous. How dare that be the fucking one line you give him?
He wasn't scared. Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit scared. But I like even when he's just absolutely beating the shit out of Steppenwolf while he's down.
I love that.
It's terrible. It's so fucking bad. It's like that, and that's where I'm like, Superman, do something. Like Cyborg screaming at the Flash, and I'm like, Superman, go help the Flash. Like, what's happening out there? Like, it's the thing of like, you're just beating the fuck out of this guy that's on his back. Give him to Wonder Woman. She can handle his ass and go outside and help.
Well, that's different because they're looking dark side in his face, and he's the strongest gun. You see this big ass Titan, you're about to dip and be like, bye.
I will also admit, I think I might be alone here, but I will admit, seeing Darkseid get fucked up in the middle of this movie kind of hurt him for me. Like the fact that he literally almost gets killed by Earth from a long time ago. And granted,
those were gods.
Correct. Those were gods. And we're sitting there with a god, another god, and another god, and then a guy that can run so fast that he can fucking reverse time, and then the leader that dresses like a bat. So like it's the same kind of shit.
Who Dark Side is afraid of the most, by the way.
But no.
That's sad in comics because he's just ruthless.
But I will say that hurt him for me, because I was like, he's obviously killable, and it's a thing of, that's why I remember like the first time watching Infinity War, and you're watching it, and Thanos, it ends up being the Reality Stone, but Gamora like slices his fucking throat, and you're like, oh shit, like right. he can bleed, like, oh, he's not that, like his skin's not made out of armor type of thing. Right. And then you're like, oh no, he already has the stone because he just destroyed this whole planet and whatever. And with this, it's like, oh, he came here, got the shit beat out of him so much that he hasn't been able to come back for that long, and whatever. And so he's having to send like, hey, go fucking help, go Steppenwolf, you go do it, because I'm not doing it. But I will also, when it comes to Superman, he's my favorite. Like when it comes to this, like I didn't expect Batman to be my favorite here. I expected Superman coming back to be my favorite, because he was my favorite of the other cut, was because he was hopeful and whatever, and it was like, holy shit, Superman's back and whatever. Big
fan of justice.
And that's the thing. Is that cheesy as fuck? Yes. Is Superman supposed to be cheesy as fuck? Yes. Because he is the baddest motherfucker there is. So when he's
supposed to be
cheesy, it's awesome. Because you have to be scared of him, but you also have to be like, look at this Boy Scout. Like, so it's like Cap. Like, Cap is cheesy as fuck. And he also is a badass, and he's going, get up every time you knock him down. So I do actually wish, besides I don't care about, for some reason, Akasan is all over the black suit, hates the black suit.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what color. I don't give a fuck what color he is in. I love the black. I think it's cool. Yeah. I wish he had long hair and a beard, but
that would be awesome.
But we still got the black suit. It looked fucking great. And but I do like the hopeful, like, I don't know, like the uplifting Superman that we got in the theatrical cut.
I want to merge both, because I love the uplifting part, but I'm whooping your ass.
The scene that we got in that trailer where he punches and like angrily shoots his laser eyes, I was like, oh fuck, like something massive is happening right there, and he's having to fight his hardest. And it's like, no, he's got him on his back, and he's just beating the fuck out of him and going 10 times harder for no reason.
Hell yeah, ain't no reason. You come in here, you fucking up my planet.
He could have killed him.
People. Right, that's the point.
But why didn't he? That's the thing, is he could have killed him. He didn't. He was just sitting there being.
Teach you a lesson.
No, that's not the point.
You're gonna get your ass whooped, and then we're gonna kill you. That's a lesson.
What's the lesson for?
You fucking made all these people suffer. Now you about to suffer. I'm about to whoop your ass mercifully.
I don't know. But
badass bitch over there is gonna cut your head off, and we're gonna send you back to your daddy. That's what's gonna happen. You're not gonna get a quick one, homie.
But that's the thing, is Superman could, if he was really pissed off, he could have walked up and laser-eyed him in the fucking middle of his forehead and just killed him.
He could, but again, lesson. I'm gonna beat your ass. You're gonna enjoy this.
That's but that's the thing. That's not Superman.
When are you gonna learn? Zack does not do traditional motherfuckers, so I'm gonna beat your ass.
And that's why I'm so glad that they are not restoring the Snyderverse.
Sweet Christmas. Dear God, you comic book purists.
I'm not a comic book purist. I haven't read a fucking comic book, period.
All right, so why are you mad?
Because it's character.
Lord, you know how many times Superman done changed in his lore?
Not the point.
That is the point.
Because that's the thing, is he's still the Superman that he's supposed to be at the end of this movie. He was just super pissed off, even though he just came back to life and was super happy with his mom and his sister. Right. And now he's pissed off. And,
listen, he's a super baby,
hey,
like us.
Right. Hey, and then, I got to go kick this guy's ass. I'm going to kill him. Actually, no, I'm going to torture his ass and then let Wonder Woman kill him after the fact, because why not? And it's like, because you're Superman. People should be more afraid of Superman after the ending of this movie. Period.
he wasn't going to kill him. He just gonna punch his ass back to the shit because Aquaman is already like.
That is exactly what my point is why the fuck is he pummeling this guy when he could have thrown him through that portal 10 minutes prior?
A lesson. God damn, Logan, no easy shit. It's a message. Like, listen, you sent this motherfucker here to try to.
Oh, now it's a lesson for Darkseid.
No, it's a lesson for, well, you can say both. It's still a lesson for Steppenwolf's ass. I will beat your ass. You did wrong. You came here and fucked my people, her people, his people, and fucked and killed how many? I'm gonna whoop your ass. Okay. And then when Darkseid showed up, that was just an extra sprinkle because they didn't expect it. So they was like, oh, cool, here you go. But Wonder Woman's like, it's not enough. It's not enough. But pop, there you go. But yeah. Darkseid didn't give a fuck. He was mediocre. And just squashed his shit. Yeah. I was like, damn, bro. That was extremely hurtful. Yeah. And Kenya, you're wrong. Batman is. Okay. I'm backing my boy Bruce up. Okay. Backing my boy Bruce up. But love you though. But anyway. But yeah. Overall, loved it. Great opportunities, yes. But before we get into the Snyderverse shit, I just have to say, I was just the urges of just pleasure of all sorts just came back when fresh Ben was on the screen in Batsuit and Nightmare Beyond. I was just like, oh my God, I miss him. He looks so good. Especially when, he's healthy. He got like the chin back and all that shit. It was great.
He looked skinny.
He did. A little bit too much, and the body was a little skinny, but that's healthy. His
face.
I get it. I didn't mind the face. I liked it. It was just like chiseled. I'm here. It's back to kind of BVS, just a little bit skinnier in the face, which I loved. But I will say, and I hate to admit this, I really do. As much as gorgeous as he looked, as amazing as he looked, as great the scene was with him, you can tell this was just a favor. You could tell it's just a favor in the way he was acting. I was like, okay, this is got it. Yeah. Got it. I hate to say that, but it was written all over because this was not true Ben acting. Just like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Shit, let's get this scene done. Boom. Hopefully puts a lot more into the Flash. Hopefully. Since he agreed to do it contractually, so I'm guessing he's gonna put a lot more into that. But the whole time with the scene, he's just like, I'm for you.
He didn't give a fuck. He's like, so. Good to meet you.
Well, we can use the help. Yeah. And I'm like, goddamn.
Yeah. That was literally a 30-minute shoot.
Right. And it was funny. It was still good because like you could still try to use it. That's Batman. This new superpower beings at his doorstep. He's just like, what the fuck, bro? Like what? Like what do you want? I get it, but you can tell that was like, yeah, this is a favorite shoot. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we see you guys in the comment section going on below. We'll get to that and all of that. So I'm getting ready to send the invite if anybody wants to come up and get the talking, getting all of that, because we want to hear you guys' takes. Absolutely. It is in the chat now. Come join us. Stick around. If you don't get you right away, just stick around, and we'll make sure we get to you for sure. Okay. So, because of this, obviously, Restore the Snyderverse has been sprung into action. That action is now gone. Been fucked because WB officially came out and was like, no. So, how can I put this? I have a problem with this, but not in the way one would think. So, like I said, to preface this, I'm on either side. If it continues, that's amazing. If this is the end, that's amazing. But I don't like the intention behind this and why not. Because it's not from a business standpoint. It just simply cannot be. Only for the fact you have something that you were definitely proven the fuck wrong with. This came out, a great fucking success for you. Great fucking success for you. More than you motherfuckers thought. You've been proven wrong. So now these actions is based off pettiness. It's not based off business. Because if you continue it, your pockets are going to be like this.
I don't know why people keep saying that, because there's no official numbers that have been out. And the unofficial numbers are that it's less streamed than Wonder Woman 84.
You just don't need numbers to be like, hey, look. It's Aka. What's going on, man? Whoops, my bad. For what? I forgot about DST. That's probably Japan time. You can still hop in, brother, whenever you want. The link's in the chat if you'd like. So
That's
follow
true.
that, and we'll definitely get you.
Thank you.
Here's the, and this is the thing for me for that. That is not tripping. Come on and say it to my face, motherfucker. But no, it's not all about numbers for me. When you have something where your fans, the outreach, the response that you're getting, obviously is successful. Greatly successful.
Not from the general audience, strictly from fans of him.
We don't know general for all that. It's a good mix. It's fans too, but there's general, you have you mixed. Cool. But we cannot say anybody saying Elseworld is just looking for reason to just hate the shit. You cannot say that because it is greatly successful. Oh, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, here we go. I don't think this is smart on your part.
Oh, it is. Already.
Okay.
Listen, my Bat brother is always welcome in here. Also welcome to a good debate.
Fucking preach, Aka. Here we go.
The red-jetted one himself, Sir Aka Son. What's going on, brother? What it do, man?
What's going on? My apologies, everybody. I promised. I said I was going to be on earlier. I forgot about daylight savings times here. Let me mute all of this. I just woke up right now, so I feel like shit. But I rise and sign, and already hearing some bullshit being spit out from the night already. So
yeah,
already up here. No, go ahead. Keep on saying what you're saying, man. Let me have my coffee so I can wake up and like completely destroy your world, bro.
Welcome.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Lex Luthor pose. Yes, but so yes, this is something that is garnering great reviews, feedback. People want it. People are clamoring for it. It would be smart because you're gonna make money off of it. It would be smart. Again, I'm
gonna make money off anything.
You can. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look at it from this perspective because I'm on both sides. I don't care either fucking way, but I do think it's a petty move on why they're not. They're like, nope, fuck you, boom, 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 da, 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 da. We're not doing it.
But that's on y'all. They literally came out and said, this is a one-off. We're giving you what you wanted. Take it. And then now everybody's pissed off that they're not changing their mind when they literally said, we're not going to continue this. This is a one-off. So there's no reason to be mad. We've known this. They have a plan to make none of this relevant anyway with Flashpoint. So I don't understand. I don't know why this is such a disappointment to people or such a surprise. Like they have lost $100 million or more off of the project of Justice League from Zack Snyder. They have to get the fuck out of here and figure it out themselves. Period.
So hypothetically, if they were to continue it, do you not believe they'll be successful at all?
No,
I know. I think it'll be successful, but I think that I think they'll spend $250 million on a 4-hour movie again and be pissed. I mean, this movie could not come out in theaters, period. End of story. That's it. I think a better version of this movie could in a 3-hour to 2:45 mark. And then I'd actually be a much happier person. But Snyder physically cannot make a good movie in a short in a theatrical amount of time. Period.
Wait,
you
think he made a good movie with a 4-hour amount of time too? I'm just asking because that's what it seems like they're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's better than BVS.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean,
that's not a great standard to go by.
It's not, but it is.
Mean, when you have to say that your movie, when the biggest positive point of a movie is well, it's better than dog shit.
Right.
And then on top of that, well, it's better than the shortened, trimmed edition of diarrhea. Then that's not much. That's not much to go by. Then when that's your best point about the movie is that it's better than a studio chopped up version, when it's better than a critically slammed movie, that's not a best thing to be going forward with.
I agree.
Nobody is saying that the story is amazing. Well, I mean, besides the night and like the fan bros, the Snyder bros that have already been on this, but nobody is saying that this story is amazing. Like, this is, oh my God, I'm so pumped, blah, 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 like that. I mean, whatever. Keep going. Are you done, Nate? Because, yeah. You're done?
That's wild. No, for y'all to say that if they were to keep, again, let me preface this, you motherfuckers that cannot hear, I'm not on the other side. I do for both. If it's done, amazing. If they want to continue it, amazing. I don't give a fuck. But to play devil's advocate, to say that if they were not to continue this, that it would not be successful is wild. And that's just fueled by dislike, hate, or whatever for what you've previously seen. That's just a personal thing. It would be successful if they were to continue it, because there's going to be people that are going to go and make it successful. That's just the way it is. Whether it's liked by everybody, that's to be seen. That's a whole different thing. That's preference.
Well, but
if you do that, it's going to be successful.
But so here's my question.
Bro, even BVS wasn't successful.
That was exactly what I was about to say.
Not as successful BVS as they wanted, but it was over $800 million. Like, really? That's not a success? I'd love it.
It's the two biggest superheroes of all fucking time. It can't make $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Not how they have not. You're right. Didn't make $1 billion, in which it should. But to act like over $800 million is not a success is wild. Bro, it's just not the expectation.
I mean,
how much did they put into it?
Even in their own fucking family,
like what?
Even in their own fucking family, fucking solo movies grossed over $1 billion. Aquaman made over $1 billion. What the fuck? Joker, like they're
Aquaman only made over $1 billion.
Yeah, so did Joker.
Yeah,
like what the point I'm saying is the fact that, what are you talking about, dude? Joker made over $1 billion, bro.
No, it did not. Aquaman is still the biggest DCU, whatever. But I don't think Joker made over $1 billion.
You're changing it now. Okay, let's look it up.
No, I
$1.074 billion.
Yeah, dude, I've been tracking this for Joker. I was sitting here with Jim Lee over a dinner talking about how it's going to make over $1 billion, and he showed me some weird ass Warner Brothers tracking thing that I've never seen in my life, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I wish I had that, because he was shocked when I told him. I'm like, dude, it's projected to make $1 billion because the movie hadn't come out yet. And like Jim Lee took out his phone, looked at something. He was like, oh shit, you know what, Aka, you might be right about this. Like, I'm like, dude, I just know the way this shit works. Anyways, my point is,
I didn't know that. I was just thinking DCU. I didn't even think about Joker.
My biggest point is the fact that ever since they dropped Snyder, ever since they left the direction of Snyder, things have been going in a better direction. I mean, Birds of Prey,
questionable.
Some of that is questionable because that started at the beginning of Corona at the same time, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of things that are questionable about that. Before I forget though, because since I'm here talking to you all, Warner Brothers just released my Snyder Cut reaction, but I need to make a thumbnail. So Javon, because he does thumbnails for me. If you can help me out here while I'm talking to these dudes and arguing with the Knight about crazy things, could you make me a thumbnail very similar to the one I did with Leslie Jones, but I'm looking for like half of Snyder's face, and then half of my face. I think you could probably grab it from like the Batman 200,000K thumbnail. Half of my face, half of Snyder's face, newspaper ripping in the middle, and then Wonder Woman bank robbery scene in the background. If you could do that, I would appreciate it while I'm here, since I'm just chatting up. So I have this whole idea of like the Snyder Cut in Akasan, and you know the deal. So I would appreciate that. Anyways,
Snyder v. Akasan.
Yeah, if not, then I gotta bounce soon, anyways, because the Flash. But so here's the thing, Knight, is, and I think here's the thing people don't realize is like the WB. I'm talking about Warner Brothers and now essentially Warner Media. They've been done with Snyder for a long time, man.
Yeah,
you know, and I was thinking about this yesterday. Thank you, Javon. I was thinking about this yesterday. Is like Snyder. I feel bad because this has been essentially a relationship that has started off pretty interesting. Then it's got kind of rocky. Then it just got tumultuous where people were using the blame game. Y'all got to remember that Snyder came in and had one good movie, basically. One really, really, and like, yes, I know it's subjective, but one explosive movie, and that was the 300. And he has this particular relationship with Warner Brothers and a bunch of people in command that didn't know anything about fucking comic books. All they knew is that the fact that Dark Knight was making a lot of money and they wanted more of that money and things like that. Walter Hamada, and so they had all these different divisions of the Synchro Copy, which is Christopher Nolan's film line, Cruel and Unusual Films, you had all these filmmaking lines, and see, Warner Brothers' whole thing is basically like, look, if something is successful, how can we repeat this situation and how can we keep it going? Ben Affleck won an Academy Award for Argo. What's the best way we can get this dude to keep on doing Warner Brothers films like that? That's the whole thing. It's like these actors are not entitled to one. They're not dedicated to these studios. But interesting enough, the relationship with the directors are a lot more in sync, where the studios want to keep these directors in their projects for the longest time. So the 300 comes out, it does really well. They start approaching because Nolan's almost done with the Dark Knight, and they're like, yo, how can we get this dude? Like, Snyder expressed interest in doing Man of Steel, because he knows comics, whatever. Whatever.
Dawn of the Dead too.
Dawn of the Dead, yes. Let's not forget about that. But then here's where it starts to go sour, and I'll never forget this, because he was already doing Man of Steel, but then Sucker Punch is released. And Sucker Punch comes out very mixed reviews and very underperforming for the most part in the eyes of Warner Brothers. I personally like Sucker Punch, but I could tell that it's kind of weird. Like the story is not for the general audience. But I remember even back then when Sucker Punch came out, there was questions started coming up. They're like, wait a second, because Sucker Punch is essentially superhero anime influence type of deal. Does Snyder still have it? They started questioning this. Like, when Snyder goes off script and he doesn't focus on like what was just handed in front of him, is this going to work, basically? And then here's the thing is like, and this is where the relationship starts to get really sort of messy. Man of Steel comes out. It does what it did, but not as well as Warner Brother would have liked.
What it do? That was your masterpiece.
Yeah.
What did it do?
But coming into where does Warner Brothers go next? And this is where it gets really messy, because Christopher Nolan's so there was one guy at the top, I forgot his name. There was one guy that retired at Warner Brothers, and he was essential to bringing in Christopher Nolan, bringing in all these like the archetypes of the success of DC films for the most part. But then he retired, and then after that, Walter Hamada became the main guy, and that's where things got really messy in terms of like the relationship. And I feel bad, because this isn't all on Snyder, but at the end of the day, it's this motherfucker's name on this stuff all the time, and it's his fan cult that is championing his success. So if it does well, the responsibility lies on Snyder. If it does bad, the responsibility lies on Snyder. But it's a mix of a lot of things. Snyder didn't want to include Batman. He just wanted to do Man of Steel 2. So he just wanted to take this shit slow. I don't even think Snyder had a remote interest in doing a 5-part series until basically they're like, yo, you're the new fucking Kevin Feige. You see what's going on with Avengers, all that Avengers money they're making. We want you to be doing this because you're a fucking comic book nerd, and apparently you're the best that we got. Again, this goes back to Warner Brothers trying to keep their directors within the same circle, just like as I said before. Ben Affleck, right around that time, Ben Affleck was wrapping up his contract with Argo. He got an Academy Award. Warner Brothers is like, yo, how the fuck do we keep this dude within our world? Oh shit, he likes Batman. It's been very well known that he likes Batman. Let's try to get this dude as Batman. We'll make him Batman and everything. He refused him in the beginning, but Snyder talked to him and said, and they're like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
We need an old ass Batman.
Yeah.
Come do it.
So here's the thing is like, I don't fully blame Snyder, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, like that Snyder, when was that? 5-7 years ago? That Snyder and the Snyder now, I feel is somewhat different. And like, he's essentially owned up to the fact that this is his universe. This is what he wants to do. But here's the thing is like, the foundation of the DCEU started rocky from the beginning. And people keep on trying to say that BVS was the beginning, but it really was Man of Steel. And the foundation of that was rocky. It didn't start if you want to make a comparison situation, Iron Man was well received from the get-go. People were excited from the beginning. Man of Steel already started out polarizing and controversial and shit. That's not my Superman, blah, blah, blah. And it was people's enthusiasm for it did not grow going into BVS. People got excited because it was like, yo, the first time Batman and Superman are finally going to be on screen. We've been asking for that ever since Nolan started Batman Begins, and we had Brandon Routh as Superman, but Christian Bale turned down the option for a tie-in movie because it wasn't his contract. Like, he didn't have to do it, but
which he regretted after the fact.
Yeah, he had Christian Bale had an opt-in in his contract, which essentially means that you have the option to pick up another tie-in movie or an optional movie if you want. You're not obligated to it, but you're basically set up for 3 movies and an opt-in tie-in movie. But he turned it down.
Well, do we feel that if Bale would have reprised his roles in these films, it would have had or done better or had better feedback? Still everything the same, but with Bale, do we think just because of that continuation, do you think it would have?
I'm going to say no because of the way Superman Returns was received. That's the problem. Because I know what you're saying, but because the thing is, if Bale comes back, then in some sense, Ralph would have had to come back. I feel at that time because Superman Returns was so fresh around that time. If they really dicked Ralph like that and they just brought in Cavill like out of nowhere, personally, I mean, I guess we could have gotten over it, but if they didn't make him a fucking murderer, because that would have been really weird. Suddenly, if he wasn't like really old or whatever. I think it definitely would have been received a lot better because Christian Bale, there's no way in hell Christian Bale was going to look at a script and be this dude doesn't take on bad scripts. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way. And there's more influence, particularly with Bale, where he's going to be like, I'm not fucking doing this. They're going to change things around. Particularly there's more Nolan influences as well. Nolan told Snyder, yo, you do not do this with killing Zod. Like, please, like, this is not a good idea. And like Zack is like, I'm just gonna fucking do it anyways. It would have been an interesting thing. And honestly, I think it would have worked a lot better. But the problem is Snyder's world is starting off Whereas, could you imagine all the movies Christian Bale wouldn't have done at this point if he was still Batman to this point? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God! Like that, like, can you imagine Christian Bale still? Like, the thing is, like, Bale would have done the tie-in movie, but he would have been done after that. He's like, dude, I'm not gonna continue doing more of these after, like, my fucking legs broken. Bane broke my goddamn back already. But it's interesting. It's interesting that you mentioned that because I've already, there's somewhat comparisons here where Batman is not the agile fighter that he once was in Justice League and BB. But that is very interesting. I never even.
That is true.
I mean, but it does work. It kind of would work in some sense, but I don't know about the whole idea of him still being around, flirting with Diana when he had all this hangups with Rachel and all this other shit. Like, it'd be interesting. So basically, what the point I was trying to make, I was trying to give you guys a little bit of a back history about this relationship with Snyder and Warner Brothers. Is the foundation was already shaky, and you can't keep on, if you're running a business and the chef keeps on serving food that 30% of the audience likes or something like that, and you keep hoping that
you 30,
you keep, like you can't, Knight, you cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me at least 50% of these people are loving these movies, that they keep on wanting more, especially after BVS, man. 30 is me being fucking gracious.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say that when you have such a fan base literally clamoring for all of this. It's hard to say it's that.
You're on. We're at home, bro. We're all fucking at home. People are making bot accounts. You're on Twitter all day. If you're using Twitter as the fucking basis for what the people of the planet Earth feel, if you're using Twitter, Facebook, all this shit, most motherfuckers aren't online talking about comic books, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Most of these motherfuckers aren't us, so they also don't give a shit. So if they go, I'm like, oh, it was cool, I liked it, enjoyed, yada yada yada, it's fine. But
those are the people that make you fucking money,
right? The people that the people
we're in the minority.
Right. The people that we're talking about that are most of the parts and people are the ones that are looking at it and being like, they're driving, they see that shit on Rodeo Drive, a billboard or some bullshit, and they're just like, oh, okay, new movie. All right, let me go check this out. Ain't nobody fucking thinking about logging on to HBO Max to watch this shit. Like I remember, like, okay, my friend, the Asian girl with the big titties, Callie, World of Callie, she's probably the most norm of my group. She's probably the most normal of my group, and she told me she didn't really watch Suicide Squad because just it had a lot of bad reviews about it. Everybody just talked negatively about it. She saw Justice League and she was just like, yeah, it was whatever. She's kind of interested in the Snyder Cut because people are talking about it, but she doesn't want to sit through 4 hours, and she's just going to wait till the subtitles come out or whatever. But it's an interesting thing, but in the end, at the end of the day, BVS was kind of just the nail in the coffin for this relationship between Snyder and Warner Brothers. Is yes, I get the fact that he had an idea for an arc, but as both of you gentlemen know, when most of these contracts are signed, it's usually for 3 movies. That's it. 3 movies with the option of renewing like that. Yep. So we got Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and the Justice League. That's it. Now, if Justice League did really well in another world on Earth 37 or something, where there was never a problem and Snyder stayed on it and Justice League did well, then they would renew his contract for Justice League 2, 3, and possibly another movie or something like that. Usually, that's the same way it worked with Far From Home, which they... I don't remember how it worked, but yeah, Far From Home was the director renewed for more movies after that. So, that's that. So in some sense, Warner Brothers is not wrong. They're not lying when he closed his trilogy. Like, it may not be the trilogy you guys thought, but it's the contractual trilogy that he originally
like I said, I'm fine for which either direction it went. I'm fine for, but I like to play devil's advocate sometimes. But guys, in the chat, you have the link if you want to come in and answer or ask a few questions for us. The link is there. Please come in, sit in the waiting room. We'll definitely make sure we get you. But of course, come in, ask your question, give your feedback, and then we shall answer it, and we will kindly, with love, remove.
I'm gonna send you a picture real quick. Night on. I'm gonna DM you a picture on Twitter. It's not a dick shot, so don't worry. All right.
Yeah, I was like,
don't get excited either way. Yeah. But hold on. But the one thing I want to. Where is your thing? Okay. The one thing I did want to say was I'm gonna send it to Logan instead, and then he can send it to you because.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the one thing I wanted to make clear is the fact that I will never deny the fact that the Snyder fandom is strong on the internet, even though they've used multiple fucking bot accounts and things like that. I still think that there is a world for Snyder. It's just not on the big screen. I am like, I may not be interested in it, but I would love to see them pump his vision into an animated form. I swear to God, I downloaded it now. I can't find it. Find an animated version of his story, tell that story animated or whatever. And I think we good like that, man. But on the big screen, man, I mean, you got to think about it. Most of these actors are tired. Like, you really think Ben Affleck wants to take this shit up? Like, this dude was done. This dude was so done. He was
like
so
I said.
happy.
I just told you on that whole nightmare scene. I was like, I don't want to make up. I was like, yeah, that was Phelps. His whole performance in that additional shooting. I was like,
yeah, this dude is done, man. Yeah, like
I was that hurt.
He's done. Gal's she's successful, right? Look, again, you got to also think about it. Look, Gal is really doing well with her own Wonder Woman stuff. Jason is doing great with Aquaman right now.
Yeah. The last thing, but nobody's gonna see his fucking movie. We better get Amber's ass out. We're gonna have some problems.
I mean, you got to think, and then Ray Fisher. Like, let's not even talk about that. Yo, there's so much turmoil between him and Warner Brothers. The last thing they want to do is bring this dude back. Yeah. Like, regardless of what, like, even if people want to see a sequel. You really think Ray and Warner Brothers really want to be working with each other right now?
Yeah, that's the problem. Everything's broken now.
Everything is broken and fucked up.
Because even I think I might have an interesting, my thought process is when it comes to restore the Snyderverse. No, it's not going to happen. Can't happen. Whatever. But if for some strange reason somehow Ben was healthy mentally and was like, oh, I'm all in if we could figure this out, or, whatever. Same thing with Ray Fisher, all that. I'm fine with, quote unquote, restoring the Snyderverse and continuing his general vision, as long as for Justice League 2 and 3, because I like the general idea, which he spilled all the beans, but, Darkseid comes, they fucking lose. And then we get nightmare-ish stuff, and obviously it's going to turn around at the end of the third movie. That would be a cool arc to have. But I would be down for that arc if Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio did not come back.
I agree.
Give that arc to someone else and have them take it. And actually, they can actually direct.
Put that up, Night. While Logan is talking, well, no, I mean, share it on your screen, bro. Like, you know how to do that? Like, put it, like, yeah.
I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. But go ahead, continue.
But keep on going. No, because what Logan is saying and what that image I just sent you represents a lot.
Because I really do think, that the general story is fine. I think that Snyder struggles with story. I think he struggles with direction. I think he's good with action. I think he was better with action in BVS, not as good in Snyder Cut, to be honest, but that's okay. And but I do think the overall arc was interesting. And so if you gave that to someone who could handle it, and they took it and ran, if you somehow got the fucking Russo brothers or somebody who have the experience, or at least,
Russo's all day,
or the fucking guy that did Aquaman. If you said, hey,
James Wan,
you said James Wan, you are now our Kevin Feige, fucking go. You would have to pay him so much because he's actually a really good.
But see, I see it I see what James, I see what Logan is saying, but see, even that I think is fucking triggering. Where it's like, okay, yo, really? because you made one fucking good movie. You make one good movie and suddenly you're now the archetype of an entire universe. It's kind of just like, come on.
I mean, he's a much better director than
yes, he is.
Snyder.
In terms of his other movies. I mean,
Fast and Furious. I mean, but
that's fucking amazing.
James Wan has done much more.
Actually, no, you're right. You're right. He did the what's that scary ass movie?
He's done Conjuring. He done Insidious, the first Saw.
So there you go. So this was something that's been circulating.
Which is pretty fucking dope.
It is.
Right. And so I'm like, look, man, if Snyder fucking just continued his story in an animated tone, I think it's easier for everybody, honestly. Yeah. I think you could get all the actors to reprise their role doing voiceovers. It's much easier. It's much cheaper. Correct. On top of that. It's much cheaper. It's easier. Actors don't have to deal with studio or Warner Brothers. They deal with the animated side of things, which, you know, my friends and the people that I work with work on the animated side are much easier to work with. And there's a vision that can be included. You can have your fucking Green Lantern, you can have your Martian Manhunter, you can have the Atom in there, Snyder can do all the shit that he wants to do and not worry about any interference, because in the animated world anything is possible and it's much cheaper too. Correct. I just feel like this is the better way to just finish this to close out the story, because on a live basis, like, the Snyder Bros are not going to stop, dude. They're going to be like, restore the Snyder. Okay, now give us the Man of Steel movie. Give us. It
will never end.
Give us the Batfleck movie. No, give us the Deathstroke. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, man. We're like, we're making $1 billion movies on the other side. Like, we finished the project. Like, you can't keep on thinking, like, this is the illusion that a lot of people have, is the fact that they won because they complained a lot. And if they continue to complain, they're going to get everything that happened. And this was the bad precedence that was set forth by the Sonic the Hedgehog situation, by the release the Snyder cut. You know, like, complaining gets your way, basically. I'm already seeing these motherfuckers up here like, ready to Amarta, we're gonna do this the old way and shit. Like, I'm like, oh my god, man.
All right, but we have somebody waiting. Sir Ronan,
I'm gonna stop.
Get ready. Are you ready? Okay, you're laughing. I see you're ready. Good. Perfect.
Morris, you're tripping. We haven't had enough animated movies and animated films on DC, man. We literally just finished the James Tucker era. We can have more.
Hey guys.
So Ronan, what's going on, brother? Welcome back. What is thy question you have for us?
Right now I'm still thinking about it. It's fascinating. I like to say that I'll post this comment now, that it's been a fascinating weekend and I guess a few months leading up to this, because you hear how people feel about the Zack Snyder hardcore fans going at people and on Twitter and social medias. And I was thinking about it. I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I haven't seen all his movies, but I like 300. I liked Watchmen. I like Sucker Punch. You know, Man of Steel. I watched it and I was like, oh, the first 75% of it, I'm into it. But then it gets to building, crashing, building. I'm like, okay, that's where it's not my cup of tea. And same thing with BVS. I remember I found, when I first started my YouTube channel, like, I was going to do a review reaction right after Dawn of Justice. And I remember seeing it. I'm like, I was so psyched about it. But then, to say it, you know, frankly, shit hit the fan with people talking about it. And even, you know, I remember what Akasa went through, and I was just like, I don't even want to bring up what I was thinking, just to say, hey, I liked it. It does have problems. It was still jarring to see Batman kill people, but seeing him kick ass and putting people in a coma, I'm okay with that. That's a line that Batman, I think, could go as far as reach without the exception of killing.
Sure.
And yeah, and I just got here because I got out of work. But seeing people talk about the Snyderverse, and I haven't really heard everything you guys talked about, I think that Akazan does have a point. You could do it as an animated format, and you could tell the story as long as you can. And I mean, to me, a good example of what you can do with something simple and yet still recognized is Castlevania. Personally, I don't know how all of you think about it, but I love the Castlevania animated show. The 3 seasons, I think still the first one is the strongest because it's the tightest, and yet you get all what the characters are going through. But I told this to Akasan and Trey and John the other day, that I was like, I'll be here. I'm in my 20s. I've seen all types of Batmans, all types of Supermans. Wonder Woman is the only one that I'm like, okay, let's see where she goes. 1984. Okay, let's keep going. But I'm like, I freaked out when I saw the Green Lantern. I'm like, oh, finally something of a Green Lantern. And whether you like it or not, Zack Snyder had some type of vision for it planned out. And I just heard the other day that he cut out a Jon Stewart scene, which I'm like, how the hell was that cut out? But I feel that if he does have to
remind me later, sorry to interrupt, but remind me later, and I'll tell you guys the whole reason, the behind the scenes story about Green Lantern, and why Warner Brothers is so afraid of Green Lantern now. But I'll tell you later.
Okay. But yeah, my question is that, yes, this is the topic of Zack Snyder. Do you think, if it's not a DC movie coming out of him, okay, do you think still this fandom and the way I hate to point it, but both sides are going at it, can still accept any new movie that he'll come out? Because I think that's one thing you can't deny, is that man knows how to put up a shot. That man can plan out, he has type of vision, the way I think I appreciate really Scott's vision on a movie, even if it's something like Prometheus or Alien Covenant, which I wasn't crazy about, but I'm like, damn, this guy knows how to shoot a superhero. Whether you like how the super is going out, but do you think still people will take, like, Army of the Dead? I'm not a big zombie guy, but I'm going to still try it out and see what that take is on him. Do you guys still think that Zack Snyder will still be welcome into the film cinephile society and fan base?
Perfect.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
Thank you for the question, good sir. That's actually a pretty badass fucking question, actually.
Yeah, it is. That's a good
interesting proposing as such, a narrative of that nature. Yeah, but thank you, Sir Ronan. We will answer it to the best of our abilities.
Thanks for giving me my 2 cents worth.
There you go.
Of course, brother. Thank you, and stick around. And we'll definitely, I'm sure we'll see you next week as well. So yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Keep at it, guys. Keep it going.
Keep at it. Thank you, brother.
Well, that's an interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a good way of getting people hanging up on people. Thank you for the question. Now we'll answer it. But okay, interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Kenya, let's not go with that sort of. It's okay. It's your show. I'm not going to take this over. Yeah.
When it comes to Zack Snyder and will people continue to support him? Yes, I think that's exactly why Netflix just scooped his ass up.
Yep.
For this Army of the Dead, is because they're gonna say, hey man, I'm guessing the budget for Army of the Dead is not massive, which is smart, since it's on Netflix. But Zack Snyder now has a giant diehard fan base that they did not have. He did not have before.
This is true.
Netflix is smart as fuck. They snagged him, and it's to the point now. Yes, I think that it's quite possible to do the whole animation thing. I think it's smart when it comes to his vision of Justice League. If Netflix was smart, they'd say, "Hey, WB, let me license that shit, and we'll do the animated version on Netflix." Because Zack Snyder, he can't tell theatrical stories. Give him TV.
Yeah.
Give him long form storytelling. It can be animated, whatever, but that would be smart.
Zack Snyder, honestly, let me put it this way, and that's why I feel like this is kind of the golden goose right here, is like Zack Snyder could revolutionize an entirely new format of animation, just because he's such a name with such a visual talent. I will never take that away from them. People think I always trash on this dude. I'm like, nah, I just trash on his shit ass takes on heroes, but I will never trash this visionary, this idea that he makes interesting shots, good slow-mo shots, and he could revolutionize animation. He could bring in an entirely new fan base into animation, something that is severely lacking with DC animation since James Tucker wrapped up his arc. I would love to see the Zack Snyder arc in animated form. Let's go. Let's do it. HBO Max, you're fucking dicking around on that one. So
I think it's the best option to do that from this point. And I don't think he will be hurt. This won't hurt him at all. From the future, he's going to be just fine, still making what he wants to do, still encouraging, still being, like you said, a visionary and giving us just visual fucking spectacles no matter what he does. I don't think this will hurt him at all. He'll keep doing his thing. I love the idea of the animation. Netflix, if you're watching, I know you are. We're great friends and partnerships. Please pick this shit up and make it run with, because you definitely have the audience for it, and it will only help. Will not fucking hurt you at all.
Right.
But let's go into the chat a little bit. So I think we've had a good little healthy show. So I say let's go into the chat, see what we have. A lot of you this has been a very active ass chat.
Yeah, it has.
It's Zack Snyder. What do you expect?
Right, you guys are going ham and cheese over this motherfucker. So if you guys have any questions for us, just want to shoot the shit.
Oh, is nobody calling in right now?
No, we had Ronan. Nobody comes in. Everyone likes to talk. They're scared.
People are scared to go on camera. It's all right.
Well, it's okay. Join me, guys. Join me tomorrow. Unfortunately, as I have to have this conversation again with DC Sun and the Comics Plus crew. Finally,
what does he think about it? He's been relatively.
Yeah. It's not that he's been quiet. He's just been he's actually been in something like, it looks like Themyscira, like this remote island in Japan, filming a movie right now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I mean, obviously he loved the movie. Obviously he loved the movie, but he's gonna come in tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to do this fucking song and dance all over again with him. So
get your jig ready, man. Get your jig ready.
I'm so tired of talking about this.
I'm with you.
You know, so one thing I wanted to note was the whole thing about the second movie. Like, honestly, so we only have bits and pieces, which I acknowledge, but for the most part, I felt like, Justice League number 2.
Okay.
We only have bits and pieces in all this, but from what I can tell, the majority of that second movie was going to be the nightmare. They go to Apocalypse and they essentially trigger the nightmare sequence, and they're living within the nightmare sequence. And I'm like, my whole thing with that is the fact that I already have my. I've said my point several times about with Superman. Like, why do I need to wait 5 movies to finally get the Superman that I was looking forward to seeing? But other than that, I'm just like, you know, it goes back to what you were saying earlier at night about this whole thing about people being excited. But it's like I don't think people really realize like that next movie is going to be even more depressing. In the sense that they go to Apocalypse, they get their ass handed to them heavily. Then it's going to be an entire nightmare sequence, and I'm just like I don't think people really realize that that's the direction he's going in. And the third final movie is finally the redemption. I'm like, this is like years of waiting to finally I'll never forget it. Like, you can't deconstruct the characters. You can't deconstruct characters if they've never been constructed to begin with.
Yeah,
it's and I know people bring up Injustice, but here's the thing: was the Injustice storyline worked because it was already accepted that this was an alternative timeline, and the characters that you're living through, the mainstay of the characters that are the narrative are the canon non-corrupted versions that are in the world of Injustice, where Superman goes evil. Even evil tyrant Superman in Injustice in the comic book it took like 30 to 40 something issues before he finally got to that point of blaring red eyes, evil ass, burning people and shit. Like, it took a long time for him to get to that point. So I think sometimes people jump at what might be cool, and I think we also need to remind ourselves that it's like, we, like you said earlier, we are the minority. We hear that these things are cool, but when it plays out for the general audience, when it plays out for people, it's like they're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Wait, so Superman's evil now and shit? You know, I know people love the Flash scene at the end of the last movie. People love the fact that the Flash pulled off his essentially like ultimate move. But I'm like, wait, so they just gave that away like so quickly? Like, like, you got to build into that. Like it's so weird to me that we were seeing everybody kind of pull off their ultimate moves or whatever, particularly the Flash, without any sort of like consequence to that that we haven't seen yet. The whole thing with Flashpoint was the fact that Barry did something and there was a huge consequence to him going back in time like that. Yeah. Snyder seemed to just pull that out just because he thought it was cool and things like that.
And then John, that makes me want to bring up how, earlier you were defending, Ezra Miller is like tripping all over the place. He's clumsy and you're like, oh, he's brand new, whatever. I'm like,
right. But suddenly he can go back in time now.
Yeah,
like,
he can do that.
Yeah.
But what going off of what Akasan said, I think that you're right. Cause when Akasan and I did that rewatch of BVS, one thing, cause I hadn't seen it in so long, one thing I forgot about really was that for no reason whatsoever, the whole fucking world hates Superman. They poorly like spin it to where they think that he did something in the Middle East, whatever. But like the whole idea should have been after Man of Steel, Superman has gone out of his way because he obviously regretted killing Zod. And he should have gone out of his way to be the Superman that we all know. That's super cheesy, saving cats out of trees. He's the perfect one. And you have maybe a few people that are afraid of him. And then you have Batman being the villain of the movie that sees the threat. And that could be your arc. But instead, they had everyone hate on Superman. So we literally have still not had Superman. And
well, I would disagree with that a bit, and because I feel like when we did that rewatch, I felt like it was just the media jumping on Superman, and if anything, I think that's the only part of BVS that works really well in today's world, especially with Trump, and like I saw that the media was basically spinning it to blame like somebody was they were looking
he's got court hearings.
They absolutely would.
It was the media plus it was the media and the court hearings. Like it was this sort of propaganda to find some sort of
control.
And then you had the paid protesters in the background. So so I know what you're saying, but because at the same time though, you saw people worshiping his ass in Mexico and shit.
Sure.
But I also agree with you. Like I don't think Superman needed to go around trying to be better than he already is. I mean, I kind of look at it as an Obama situation. I'm like, look, this dude just came out here, did his job, and the media will spin it with like. But I do feel like they never saw like Superman never actually looked happy to be doing
right. That's what I
I'm like, this motherfucker was just saving motherfuckers and just gracefully standing and shit. So I get what you're saying. I think, like I said with the rewatch, there's a gem of a show. There's a gem of a movie in BVS. I just think like, if Snyder pulled back certain beats and points of his thing, if he made Batman brutal and not murderous, I think it would have worked much better, man. And we wouldn't even be fucking arguing about this. Honestly, I think. Logan, you and I probably would be more of a Team Snyder people if he wasn't just so excessive with certain things.
If he understood the character from the beginning on screen.
Oh, Lord, we're not going to open this up.
If he just told the character a little bit better. You got somebody else coming in or what?
We don't, but we're going to get to this chat here.
Okay, go.
So, obviously, DC is opening up their world because they're kicking Snyder to the curb. And of course, Zatanna is one of them that are in the works. So Kenny says Daisy Ridley as Zatanna. Who do we think, because they're going to do it, who would we want to see wield the magical wand? Who do we think best fits that? Or would be a good actress to take that on, actually? Who would be you guys pick?
Which wand? Oh, you're talking. Sorry. I was thinking. Sorry, I was thinking about Daisy Ridley and me, and just
I was like, you went somewhere completely.
Using the Force. I'd turn her to the dark side, the very dark side.
Let's see what you did there. I mean, good luck. But isn't she with? Who's she with? She's with somebody else famous, isn't she?
She's with me, nigga. What you talking about?
Jesus.
Shit.
Sorry, I was unaware of this. Congratulations.
Hey,
But yeah, who would you guys want to see?
But
Zatanna?
Yeah. I like the idea of I saw somebody say Ana de Armas.
I'll be back.
I was like, hey, I'm somewhat down for that. Because I've been seeing a lot of people say Emilia Clarke, and I'm like, no, make her fucking Mira.
Yes.
Like, please don't. But I don't know. Do you have an idea?
I don't. I never really thought of it because Zatanna's not really somebody that I really.
Yeah, I'm not very versed in her.
Right. So it's hard to pick. Like I saw the Anna in the chat. I've seen Daisy Ridley. There was somebody else. Somebody said Tiffany Smith. Ronan said that. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
She played, what's her name? She played Megan just recently, didn't she?
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I love her as an online personality. I've watched her forever. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how good of an. Yeah, she's adorable as hell. So could be cool to see her. I mean, she's a massive fan. So
yeah. No, absolutely.
But
I don't have a specific point. But guys, we're getting ready to wrap up here soon. I'm gonna put the link into the thing one more time, and then we shall call it a night. All y'all stop being scared. There's a good number of y'all in this mother.
I will still say, for people that are saying Daisy Ridley, I want her for Spider-Woman. I just think that works so well.
Really?
Yeah. Who else would you pick? You got a different one for that?
I'm not entirely sure. Isn't Spider-Woman Hispanic? Isn't she Hispanic?
I didn't think so.
Pretty sure she's Hispanic.
Well,
So
I mean,
that would be the wrong choice to do.
I mean, let's see. Let me look it up.
Right. And look at the chat. Isn't she Hispanic? Let's see.
Her name is Jessica Drew.
Oh, Spider-Woman?
Yeah.
So maybe it's through marriage. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know her.
She looks white as fuck to me in these pictures.
She does look white. She could, so Daisy Ridley could possibly work.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I don't know. There's plenty of options always, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more so interested. It's funny because, like what Akasan was saying earlier, like success is a weird word to use because these are all making money. So we can't say they're not making money. But like Birds of Prey, I really don't think Birds of Prey is a very good movie. And Wonder Woman 84, while being with her was cool, not that great of a movie either, not strong in story. So it's tough for me, like they're announcing these other things.
She's
like,
British, by the way.
Who is? Just
Spider-Woman.
Daisy Ridley, perfect.
Yeah.
But I just I'm interested, honestly, to see what James Gunn does with Suicide Squad, and then after that, it's Black Adam. I want to see what Black Adam, because that little, concept art trailer that we got for Black Adam was weirdly exciting, even though it was absolutely nothing. But just having The Rock narrate it was awesome. And so I actually am very excited for his movie, but the other stuff, I can't trust DC Warner Brothers yet with, I can't expect it to be good. Unlike, the other side with Marvel, like I at least give them the benefit of the doubt for most things because they haven't dropped the ball. Man. They haven't dropped the ball as much. So I'm nervous for DC still. So hearing Zatanna, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens.
Has Marvel actually have they had a failed movie yet? Like Marvel? A movie that was just was bad, in terms of critically and financially or anything.
No.
No.
I would say Captain Marvel is a bad movie, but
that shit made $1 billion. $1 billion.
So yeah. So it's and they're also.
I'm gonna look that. I'm gonna look that up. Which was the least making Marvel movie?
In terms of least money, it would probably be Incredible Hulk. I would say.
You're right. Yeah. That's true.
And then after that, I would say Ant-Man.
But even Ant-Man's
successful for sure.
Interesting. The lowest grossing Marvel movie was none other than Captain America: The First Avenger.
That makes sense.
Wow, which to date is one of the lowest performing MCU movies. That movie only made $170 176.7 million at the domestic. It's the third worst showing of any. Wow.
So here's what I'll say. I mean, I was in high school at the time, but I did not see Thor or Captain America 1 before I saw Avengers.
Oh,
never saw them. So I can say, so I walked into Avengers and I left going, this is the most amazing movie. It was my favorite. I walked out and said, this is my favorite movie. And then people were like, oh,
see you, J. King. We'll get to this.
Well, Loki is in Thor, and then the Tesseract is in Captain America 1. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I loved this movie, and I didn't even see the two that actually like have the catalyst for everything.
It's probably because back then nobody gave a shit about Captain America.
Well, I just didn't know. And I mean, now Captain America 1 is literally one of my favorite Marvel movies.
I personally, I actually rented them on DVD.
There you go. So we didn't know.
But to be fair, it's because I saw Iron Man in theaters, and then I moved to Japan, and I completely forgot of like that whole world. It completely escaped me after that, like comics and things like that. So there's a lot of those movies. And when Avengers was coming, I decided to catch up. I actually rented Green Lantern. I rented Thor, Captain America, almost all of them. And then finally, I was ready for Avengers and realized it came out like 3 months later than the rest of the world.
I will tell you, I did see Iron Man 1 and The Incredible Hulk in theaters, and I did not know that they were in the same universe.
Right.
Until I saw Incredible Hulk on TV years later. And the opening credits have blueprints.
Yeah,
say Stark Industries, and I was sitting there with my dad, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Did you read
Wait
that?"
a second.
Like, no.
So you didn't stay for the end credits on Incredible Hulk?
Had no idea.
Because that's where Tony Stark shows up at the end,
right? And with General Ross, but like I didn't know that they were the same thing.
Okay.
So because I thought it was like X-Men or whatever. I didn't know that anything were connected at all.
I agree with Ronan though. I like Birds of Prey too, but it probably would have worked better as like a TV show because that shit personally for me, I feel like that's where this whole giving freedom to directors is a little too much because I see what they were trying to go for, but I'm like it was so different and so like too much. It was just too much of like this different type of image that I'm like, okay, now you're kind of taken away from the Gotham world that David Ayer was kind of painting. Now this shit looks like fucking looks like Jersey. Yeah. It looks more like LA or Jersey in the daytime or something.
Yeah.
Wait, you got a call?
All right, Jay. I was just about to say, Jay King, are you ready, good sir?
Oh yeah. Where's my
thumb
now?
Thumbs up. What an asshole.
No. I mean, I'm assuming that's why he's joining right now to let me know the thumbnail is finished, right?
That and also to come talk about Snyder stuff. So
okay, go ahead.
What you got, man?
What's your question, man? Welcome.
Okay, so I said this in the chat, but I'm gonna reiterate it here. When it comes to the whole nightmare scene in Snyder, I've heard a lot of people always compare it to Injustice. But
these are dope. All right, thank you.
But no problem. But when it comes to that, and I think it's maybe because I reread it, I feel like the nightmare scene has maybe some elements of it, but I also feel like it's more in tone with Final Crisis, where Darkseid gets the anti-life equation and basically takes over all of Earth. I feel like it's more toned to that. So what do you guys feel? Is it you feel like it's more Injustice where Superman goes evil, or do you feel like it's more Final Crisis?
For the record, I have not read Final Crisis. I'm familiar with some of it, but I've only after I left the country, I stopped reading a lot of comics. So I only know, and I've talked with Tom Taylor many times, who wrote Injustice. So I have a more familiarity with that one. In the end, personally, I feel it doesn't really matter because Snyder doesn't really pay attention to the comics.
I would definitely say that. I would definitely say it's got to be a mixture.
Right? It's not going to be anything.
If I was hopeful, I would say that he's taking the best of both and making something new. Which we, because I mean, you are seeing both. Because I will say it looks like Darkseid has the anti-life equation. I would think that that's kind of what we're seeing, and then also we're seeing Superman bad. So I think that it is kind of a mixture of both, and that's why I would be interested to see it. I mean, I really would. I just not with him behind the camera. or writing on the script, or Terrio, which I think John and I both despise Chris Terrio, but that's another story. But no, I would probably guess, not being versed in the comics that you're asking me, but with what you just told me, I would hope that he's taking the best of both.
Yeah, we can only guess, sure, speculation on that aspect because we're not so familiar with that.
Right.
So it's, sorry we couldn't answer it to a more distinguished.
I know. I wish I was better.
Right, we wish we definitely were better. But we definitely appreciate you coming by, and thank you for giving Akasan such a badass thumbnail. We'll see how it turns out. Good, sir. But we appreciate you for stopping on by, man. Stay in the chat, keep the conversation going, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right.
More questions. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
See you.
Peace.
Later, bro.
That's a cool dude.
He is.
But yeah, well, I'd say we won't have any more waiting. Everyone's working. Yeah, I think this is a good little spot to close it out. I was gonna try to come up with a catchy analogy or something, and nothing came. But it's all right. But guys, we want to thank you so much for stopping on by here with us for the Film Cave episode number 16. 16 weeks of this mofo. Golly. Yeah, man. And we're growing. We're seeing a lot more activity within the chat. You guys are getting a lot more interactive, which I love. Thank you so much. We knew this venture would take some time, and it's starting to roll out. And keep your eyes open, guys, because only a lot more cool shit is coming. And the easiest way to prepare for that, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then thumbs up, because it really helps the channel and the videos reach a lot more people. We want to thank Aka for stopping on by and battling me once again on all things Snyder.
Oh, I went easy this time. Because I know Logan probably already. Yeah, Logan already got into it with you, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna. But the moment you started talking about they're successful, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna do $1 billion. I'm like, let me call.
Who said that shit? Who said that shit?
You're ignoring all these fans.
I want to hear what they want to hear. You see this, y'all? Lord, this is why I always get jumped. I need backup. Because
Morris, if John wants me to, I'll talk about the Green Lantern thing. And second, yes, I definitely heard about Katie Cassidy, and I'm going to make a video about that later. I do want to remind people there's 3 things. If you want to come over tomorrow, I'll be bringing in the Comics Plus crew, and we'll have this fucking discussion a lot more about the Snyder Cut. Second, my reactions to YouTube edits will be going up in about 10 minutes or so on YouTube, thanks to J King giving me the thumbnail. 3, I will be streaming in about 15 minutes or so The Flash and Superman and Lois. So we have a lot more DC content, and that's going to be on Twitch. So follow AKA_SAN_plays, AKA SAN_plays, Akasun_plays on Twitch if you want to join me live stream with the comics, with the Akasan crew, the Red Dreaded Nation. But yeah, if you want me to talk about the Jon Stewart thing, the Green Lantern thing, I will. But it's up to you. Remember, I was talking about it. So
the Stewart.
There's a reason why WB is panicked so much about Snyder putting Green Lantern in, but
Black heroes.
No, dude, please don't start that narrative. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want to know the reason? Okay, so, quick. Go ahead. All right, so part 1 and 2. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is just a behind the scenes things. I'm not going to say who, but when I went last time, I was at Warner Brothers Animation, or actually last time I was on the Warner Brothers lot. I was talking with a few producers and writers about Green Lantern, or just particularly about what happened. You guys remember the Green Lantern cartoon show that was going on? That was on Cartoon Network and everything. So
I didn't watch it, but yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that was actually fairly successful, and it was doing really, really well. And then they had plans to go further with that. Like that. And so there were people behind the scenes that were getting to go ahead. Now, yeah, you have to realize that even if you saw my Twitter yesterday, I was talking with James Tucker, who is the producer and director of the entire animated world that just ended recently with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. We were just talking about this. These motherfuckers do not talk to any, like, you got Warner Cinema, you got Warner Animation. These literally, some of these fuckers are in completely different parking lots, different addresses and everything. Warner Brothers Animation is actually, interesting enough, right next to the Bewitched house, which and the Friends pool. You know, the okay, anyways, that Warner Brothers Animation is actually over there, next to WB-TV, where the Warner Brothers Studios is on the mainstay Animaniacs Warner Tower area. It's very interesting. So these motherfuckers really do not talk at all about what's going on. So Green Lantern was doing really well on Cartoon Network, but then the Green Lantern movie came out, and there were plans to keep going forward with Green Lantern, but then some people I know were taken to the Warner Brothers studio lot. They're like, come on, like, I gotta tell you why we can't continue with Green Lantern. They literally took them to the Green Lantern studio. I'm sorry, the Warner Brothers back lot, fucking opened the door, and you just saw a fucking landfill of Green Lantern movie products just that needed to be destroyed because they were all being returned from the retailers, the distributors.
Oh, wow.
There was a fucking like, you know, that fucking nightmare scene in the Snyder cut? Imagine that, but just landfills of Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds toys, books, comics, everything. WB took a huge, this was one of the biggest loss that WB has ever taken in the movie industry, especially with DC TV. So anything DC, I'm sorry, not DC TV, anything Warner movie related that has to do with Green Lantern is like automatically panic mode. That they don't want to mention it. They don't want any sort of piqued interest at this moment in time. They just do not want to touch this shit because it damn near destroyed a good amount of their company when that movie came out. So it is like one of the biggest, like, it's taboo to even speak of some sort of like movie situation. And that's one of the reasons that Warner Brothers was just like, yo, yeah, hard no. I know you want to bring in a lantern. Like, look, you can have a fucking cameo of a lantern flying around or whatever. But, yo, the last thing we need is to bringing in a Green Lantern as a throwaway, just because of it's good. If we ever do get a Green Lantern movie, it's going to be with a trusted director, a trusted friend, somebody that can kind of help carry it to reinvigorate and strengthen that relationship again. But at this moment, Green Lantern in the movie world is just a running joke right now, and it's crazy that, but it's it really is taboo. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, that was probably one of the biggest damning moments. It was basically the Final Fantasy Spirits Within of Square Enix. No, that shit bankrupt. Yo, that shit legit almost killed Squaresoft altogether. If I remember correctly, that's one of the reasons why they needed to merge with Enix to make Square Enix. The Green Lantern was no joke, man. So anyway, so that's so, you know, I know people like the fact that Snyder throws these things in, but at the same time, for what purpose? Like, what point? Like, why do this if you're just gonna like not really build into it?
At this point, it was just finish it. It's like, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys heard it here first, and why Green Lantern is fucking cursed within WB.
it's like the like everybody, like, it's like, yo, no more posters, take all that bullshit down. But it's interesting.
We don't even want to see green, bitch.
Like, seriously, it's a St. Patrick's Day.
It's interesting that they have, you know, they greenlit a show, the Green Lantern Corps show, but that's years down the line. So that kind of
right. And again, that, as you just said, this is the thing, though. It's like, it's not it's not on the big screen. Like, there's no way. Like, Warner Brothers has this sort of
house.
everything except Batman, basically. Warner Brothers has this reactionary situation where they're just like, yo, if something does really bad, we never want to see that shit again. Superman, BVS, all right, yo, he's on the back burner for a while, man, until we can figure this shit out. Let's do Superman, Supergirl, Superboy, whatever, but we ain't gonna touch Superman for a while until we can figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but that's what I'm saying on the animated side, and then on the TV show side, you have time to kind of tell the story, and essentially if it builds up that there's enough interest that people are interested in that shit, then we bring them back to the mainstay. But it's weird because I always felt like Green Lantern works well as a core unit, but not as just one man on his own. Man with the magical ring, get the fuck out of here with that shit. But
if done right,
Space Rings as a core unit, as a group type of shit, that could work well.
Yeah, yes, as a police force. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We have only but the future to look forward to that. But then again, guys, make sure you go follow Akasan, and if you want to, go chill out with him on Twitch. He's doing a whole bunch of DC coverage right now, and you guys be sure to make over and chill out a little bit. Sir Logan's channel will also be set up in the description box below. What you got, brother? What you got to plug? Anything going on?
I mean, we got Falcon the Winter Soldier, man. I'm excited to see what's next on that. That'll be on my channel.
Yes, we do. And as well, I have a few things coming up here on the channel. Make sure you're notified so you can keep in touch. Guys, it's been amazing. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. It's your boy, Knight.
I'm Logan. And that's Akka.
That's Akka. And that's Akka. And y'all, we will see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.
Later, guys.
Peace.